with Jack Dale, speaking to you from Jones Stadium in Lubbock, Texas, where tonight the Texas A&M Aggies meet the Texas Tech Red Raiders. And for the 42nd year, Southwest Conference football is brought to you on radio by Exxon Company USA and your Exxon retailer. Well, it's a beautiful night on the high plains of Texas, though a bit on the warm side for football. The skies are absolutely clear above, not a cloud in sight. The temperature, as we said, on the warmish side, about 80 degrees. However, the local weatherman tells us it'll cool down some during the next couple of hours, dropping into the upper 60s by the end of this evening's contest. High reading in Lubbock this afternoon was 88 degrees, following a low, cool 57 degrees this morning. Relative humidity on the dry side, about 28 to 29%. However, one factor of the weather could enter into the outcome of tonight's ball game, and that is a stout southerly wind, blowing sometimes up to 15 miles an hour, blowing consistently between 5 to 12 miles an hour. That brings it onto the playing field from our right. We're atop the west stands with the north goal to our left. When Jones Stadium on the edge of the Tech campus is full, it seats 47,000 football fans. And when all of those seats were sold out this week for this 34th meeting between the Aggies and the Red Raiders, the grassy slope at the north end of the stadium was sold out to those who don't mind roughing it a bit to watch their favorite football team. Then standing room was sold, bringing the expected attendance for tonight's game to well over 50,000 football fans. Only 4 times in the history of the 28-year-old edifice has it held over 50,000 for a football contest. Record was in 1970, when Tech and Texas played before an audience of 53,124, and tonight's crowd could approach that. Over 6,000 ducats were picked up on the Texas A&M campus at that ticket office, and several thousand Aggie fans from the Lubbock area are helping swell A&M partisans to nearly 8,500 here tonight. We'll continue with the pregame activities in just a moment. Well, for the 34th time, the Red Raiders of Texas Tech and the Aggies of Texas A&M face each other over the line of scrimmage. Since they first met back in 1927, the Aggies have prevailed with 18 wins to Tech's 14. On the other hand, the Raiders have prevailed in conference games between the two. Since Tech signed on in the league back in 1960, the Raiders have won 9, the Aggies 5. The only tie in the series came in the first conference game ever played between the two in 1960, ending in a 14-14 deadlock. Now, 34 games later, the rampaging Texas Aggies, with 4 straight under their belts, the best start they've had since 1957, when they won 8 straight, began their quest for the conference crown against a team that has not been able to defeat on home soil since back in 1967. Ranked 6th nationally, the Texas Aggies lead the nation by 30 yards in total defense, allowing their opponents but 2.5 yards of play. The awesome defense has permitted but 1 touchdown running, 1 touchdown passing against them. The Red Raider defense is ranked 6th in the Southwest Conference. Add it all up, and it comes out to what may be one of the season's top defensive contests on the high plains tonight. While the Aggies have won 4 straight, the Raiders are 2-2, winning their first 2 contests and dropping their last 2, including a loss to Texas in their first conference action of the 1975 campaign. This will be the first conference game played before the home crowd for the nation's youngest major college football coach. 31-year-old Raider mentor Steve Sloan is making his home conference debut tonight, while the Texas Aggies are shooting for their 400th victory since they beat Galveston Ball High School 14-6 in the first football game ever played by the Texas Aggies back in 1894. And for the second time in this 61st Southwest Conference campaign, all members are busy on the gridiron this week. And the busiest site for the action was at the fairgrounds of the State Fair of Texas, where last night the first of the 3 conference contests on this week's bill of fare was played between a couple of old rivals, SMU and TCU. The Mustangs won their first conference game of the year. The Horned Frogs lost their second. A&M taking it 28-13 before a Cotton Bowl crowd at the State Fair in Dallas. Barely had the SMU-TCU crowd left the Cotton Bowl before a sellout Texas-Oklahoma audience started moving in. Oklahoma won the 70th meeting between the old rivals, beating Texas for the 5th straight time, 24-17 this afternoon. Tonight, under the arcs in Waco, Southwest Conference champs Baylor begin their defense of their first title in 50 years as they entertain the Razorbacks from Arkansas, who won their conference opener last week at the expense of Texas Christian University. Besides our conference action here in Lubbock, the rest of this week's entertainment among conference winners is intersectional, and it's all underway right now. Rice is entertaining Mississippi State at Houston, and member-elect Houston is visiting in Denton at the invitation of North Texas State. Next week, play for the conference crown gets started in real earnestness, with Arkansas and Texas playing at Fayetteville, Rice and SMU at Houston, and the Texas A&M Aggies and TCU will meet at Fort Worth. Tech winds up its intersectional schedule against Arizona at Tucson, and member-elect Houston challenges Miami. Baylor will be resting before beginning 6 straight weeks of conference play. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the pregame sounds of the 34th meeting between the Texas Tech Red Raiders and the Texas A&M Aggies. And while we were waiting for the stations to identify themselves, the mascot for the Texas Tech Red Raiders made his first appearance in Southwest Conference activity tonight. The fine horse that is ridden by a masked rider, Happy Five, a quarter horse, ridden by Joe Kim King, an animal science major from Brady, Texas, riding him around the track that surrounds the playing surface of the Texas Tech Jones Stadium. The officials for tonight's contest are McDuff Simpson, the referee, Matt Gorgeous, the umpire, W.C. Coleman, the head linesman, Roland Goss is the line judge, Larry Corbin is the field judge, and Randy Clay will be the back judge. The meeting is over at center field between the co-captains of the Red Raiders and the Texas A&M Aggies with the officials we've just enumerated, and the Texas Aggies have won the toss. They will receive from the north goal line, waiting to take advantage of that 5 to 15 mile an hour wind in the fourth quarter of action. We're ready now for the 34th meeting between the Texas Tech Red Raiders and the Texas A&M Aggies. And here to tell you about it is Jack Dale.
Thank you very much, Dave Smith. Good evening, everybody. From Jones Stadium in Lubbock, Texas Tech and Texas A&M in a big Southwest Conference battle. And as Dave told you, Texas A&M won the toss. They'll be receiving at the north end down to our left. They'll be moving from north to south here in the first quarter from our left to our right. Texas Tech kicking off on the south 40-yard line. David Millard has the ball teed up at the south 40. Skip Walker and Carl Roach is back deep. Millard advances on the ball. Here's his boot, and it's high and long, sailing with the wind, and it's deep in the end zone. And out of the end zone is Skip Walker. Fields the ball, goes down on one knee. And Texas A&M will have the ball first and 10 to the Aggie 20-yard line as we go to play here at the outset of the ball game. David Shipman will be at quarterback, the junior from Modesto Permian, 6'1", 210 pounds. The left halfback will be Bubba Bean. The fullback will be Ronnie Hubby. And the right halfback will be Skip Walker. The tight end, Richard Osborne. The split end will be Carl Roaches. The tackles will be Glenn Bujnock and Dennis Swilley. The guards, Frank Myers and Bruce Welch. And the center will be Henry Tracy. That's setting Texas A&M offensively as they come up to the line of scrimmage, attired in white uniforms with maroon trim. David Shipman brings them to the line of scrimmage. Wide split end to the left side. Wishbone T in the backfield. Almost a 7-man line for Texas Tech. Here's the pitch back going to Bubba Bean, running to the right. It's cut at the 20-yard line and falls forward out to the 22. A 2-yard pickup is Harold Buell. The linebacker on the left side knifed through the catch. Bubba Bean at the 20-yard line, and Bean fell forward out to the 22. It'll be 2nd down and 8 now for Texas A&M at the hash mark on the near side of the field. Defensively, Texas Tech going with Wesley Schmidt, Bill Bothwell, E. Comet Burley, Fred Schusler, and Richard Eilidge up front. The linebackers, Thomas Howard and Harold Buell. In the backfield, it's Tony Green, Alan Emerson, Curtis Jordan, and Eric Felton. Aggies up to the line of scrimmage. A&M 22-yard line, 2nd down and 8. Split end to the left side. Here's Shipman to the 2nd man by. That's Bubba Bean bouncing into the center of the line, and he's hit short of the 25-yard line. But he gets to the 25, a 3-yard gain on the play. E. Comet Burley, the middle guard, and Bill Bothwell, the left tackle, in on the stop for Texas Tech. Burley, 5'11", 240-pound junior from Lufkin, the leading tackler for the Texas Tech Red Raiders, in on that defensive play at the 25-yard line. It'll be 3rd down coming, and 5 needed now for Texas A&M. The Aggies, the number 1 defensive team in the nation, and number 1 against the rush. Ranked number 6 in the nation as they come into the ball game tonight. Up to the line of scrimmage. Over the ball, Henry Tracy. Split end to the right side. That's the short side of the field. Wishbone T behind David Shipman. Shipman on the option of the left. Pitches it back to Skip Walker, running wide to the left. He's caught back in the backfield and knocked down back at the 22-yard line. Skip Walker trying to go wide around his own left end, and the Texas Tech defense, led by Curtis Jordan, coming out of the secondary, making the stop behind the line of scrimmage. Tony Green also into the play. Settling at 4th down for Texas A&M. They'll need 8 yards, and Mike Stanley comes into the ball game. Stanley averaging 37.1 yards per kick, ranking 4th in the Southwest Conference in punting, coming into the ball game tonight. So he goes back deep around his own 10-yard line. Brian Nelson is back, a freshman from Wichita Falls, back around his own 40. Big rush put on by the Red Raiders. There's Stanley's kick. He sails it high and long. Nelson fields it his own 35, up the middle to the 40, to the far sideline on East Horse Collar, and pulled down to the 40-yard line in Texas Tech territory. And that's where the Red Raiders will take over 1st and 10. 12 minutes and 56 seconds left to go. In the first quarter of the ball game, no score, Texas Tech and Texas A&M. Jesse Honeycutt in on the tackle for Texas A&M, a 43-yard kick and a 5-yard return. So the Red Raiders take over for the first time offensively in the ball game tonight, and Tommy Donovan will be at quarterback. He'll have Larry Isaac at tailback. The fullback will be Rufus Myers, and the flanker back will be Ricky Bates. So the Red Raiders come to the line of scrimmage. Split end to the right side is Sammy Williams. Flanker to the left is Ricky Bates. Here's Donovan handing the ball off to Larry Isaac, and Isaac powering in the left side of his own line. And there is a fumble and a Texas A&M recovery. A fumble at the bottom of the pile, and Texas A&M has recovered at the 45-yard line in Red Raider territory. Ed Simonini comes up with a football for the Texas Aggies. And so the old fumble bugaboo bothers the Red Raiders early in the ball game on the first play. The Red Raiders turn it over to Texas A&M. The Red Raiders had lost 10 fumbles in the last 3 ball games to Texas, Oklahoma State, and New Mexico. So the Aggies take over 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line in Red Raider territory. Split end to the left side is Carl Roaches. Here is Shippen with the ball. He pitches back to the last end of the Bubba Bean, running right on his own right end. He gets to the 40-yard line, running the bounds to the near side of the field, about the 38-yard line. Bubba Bean carrying the football wide around his own right end to the near sideline. Curtis Jordan, one of the captains for the Red Raiders, came up and made the tackle, and it's going to be inside the 38 at about the 37.5-yard line. About 7.5 yards gained on the play. It'll be 2nd down coming, and a long 2 needed. About 2.5 yards for the first down. The ball at the hash mark on the near side of the field. Shipman, Bean, Hubby, and Walker in the offensive backfield. Mike Floyd is in its split end out. He goes wide to the right side. Wishbone T in the backfield. Almost an 8-man line for the Texas Tech Red Raiders against the Wishbone T. Here is the handoff going to Ronnie Hubby, the fullback, into the left side of his own line. There's a flag. There may have been a fumble to the bottom of the pile. And I believe Texas Tech has come up with a football. The Red Raiders have the football and a Texas A&M fumble. The penalty evidently against Texas A&M. The Red Raiders decline it. They take over the ball at their own 33-yard line. Alan Emerson was the lad who came up with the football at the bottom of the pile for Texas Tech. So the turnovers are even at 1 apiece now. The Red Raiders take over the ball 1st and 10 at their own 33-yard line. 12 minutes and 37 seconds left to go in the first quarter of the ball game. No score. Wide flanker, wide to the right side, split into the left side. Tommy Donovan, the quarterback. 5-2 defense for Texas A&M. Donovan with the ball, moves to his right, hands it off in the dive play to Rufus Myers into the right side of his own line, and Myers clears the 35, he's out to the 36-yard line, and there Jimmy Dean jumps on him and brings him down. Dean credited with 38 tackles in the 1975 season thus far, 6'5", 250-pound junior from Lake Jackson, Brazos Wood High School. The ball at the 36-yard line, Red Raider territory, a gain of 3 on the play. It's 2nd down and 6 now for Texas Tech, operating at their own 36-yard line. Donovan brings them to the line of scrimmage. Split end, Sammy Williams to the left side, Ricky Bates wide to the right. 6-2 defense, almost a 7-1 defense, with 3 deep in the secondary now for Texas A&M. Here's Denver to the option, pitches it back to Larry Isaac. He's caught back in his own backfield. He's going to be pulled down back to the 31-yard line. Larry Isaac caught back in his own backfield, and it was Lester Hayes who came blitzing through from his safety position to make that play back in the Texas Tech backfield at the 31-yard line. And Hayes has really been doing a lot defensively for Texas A&M in the 75 season, as he blitzes quite a lot. You'll see him in that opponent's backfield during the football game quite a lot. He's a junior from Houston Wheatley with super speed, 6'2", 210 pounds, runs 109.4. So the Red Raiders with about a 5-yard loss on the play, back to the 31-yard line. It'll be 3rd down. Here's Donovan back to pass, 3rd and long. Out to the right, it's complete to Isaac, and he's knocked to the bounds, up around the 34-yard line. Garth Napel was there defending, but evidently Isaac caught the ball out of bounds. No, he caught it inbounds and went out of bounds at the 34-yard line near the 35. Larry Isaac grabbing the football, going out of bounds, but of course it's short of the first down by about 9 yards. So the Red Raiders in a punting situation, 11 minutes and 18 seconds left to go in the first quarter. No score, Texas Tech and Texas A&M. Going back in deep punt formation for the Texas Tech Red Raiders is David Kirkendall, standing around his own 20-yard line. Kyle Roaches is back deep around his own 21. Belt high snap, and Kirkendall gets it away, and he really sails this one to the 3. Roaches fields it at his own 26-yard line, comes out to the 30, 25, breaks away to the 40, and he's knocked down at the 39-yard line. Kyle Roaches with the football, and he has super speed, and he almost broke away that time as he was racing toward the far sideline. One Texas Tech Red Raider managed to get him around the ankles and pull him down. It was Jim Scott, a 6'1", 215-pound junior from Cleburne, Texas, making the tackle just short of the 40 to 39-yard line. A 38-yard kick and an 11-yard return by Carl Roaches. Roaches, the senior from Houston Smiley, owns 5 Texas Aggie records. Up to the line of scrimmage, 1st and 10 for Texas A&M at the Aggie 39-yard line. No score in the ball game. David Shipman is running the ball club offensively. Here's the counter play with Skip Walker. He's hit at the line of scrimmage and knocked down. He may have gained a yard on the play out to the 40-yard line, but the Texas Tech defense rising to the occasion, led by E. Comet Burley and Fred Schusler, in to throw up the roadblock at the 40-yard line as Skip Walker hit a stone wall. A gain of a yard on the play to the 40. It'll be 2nd and 9 now for Texas A&M. The Aggies with Shipman, Bean, Hubby, and Walker in the offensive backfield. Mike Floyd the split end. Glenn Bushnock at left tackle. Left guard is Bruce Welch. The center, Henry Tracy. Frank Myers at right guard. Dennis Swilley at right tackle. And the tight end is Richard Osmond. Split end wide to the right side. They break the wishbone now with a slot to the right. Here's a sprint out draw play. Running with the football is Bubba Bean to the right side of the 45. He's to the 50. Has the first down as he crosses into Red Raider territory and knocked down at about the 49-yard line. Thomas Howard and Eric Felton caught up with him. Felton, the left side cornerback, a sophomore from Lubbock High School, 5'11", 190 pounds. Making the tackle on the near side of the field after a 12-yard scamper by Bubba Bean. So Bean carries the ball near the 48-yard line in Red Raider territory. 1st and 10 for Texas A&M. So that time the Aggies broke the wishbone, went into the I formation, slot eye to the right side, and Bubba Bean carried the ball for the first down, 12 yards. 48-yard line, Red Raider territory. Almost an 8-man line for Texas Tech against the wishbone. Here's Shipman pitching the ball in the last minute. Skip Walker running wide on his own right end, gets back to the line of scrimmage and dives for a yard or two on the far sideline. About the 47, maybe the 46-yard line. Skip Walker carrying the football, and that time David Shipman ran into a lot of traffic down the line of scrimmage before he made that pitch back, and he made it back to Walker, threw it just a little bit behind him and slowed him up a bit, but Walker managed to get back to the line of scrimmage and pass for 1 yard. Dave?
Jack, that 12-yard run a moment ago by Bubba Bean moves him into 10th place in all-time rushing in the Southwest Conference, a position formerly held by TCU's Mike Luttrell.
Okay, a 1-yard gain by Skip Walker. 2nd and 9 now at the 47-yard line in Red Raider territory. Texas A&M in possession. Split end to the left side. Here's Shipman faking, keeping. He's going to run with the ball, and he is knocked down at the line of scrimmage. And in on the play, Eric Felton. John Klinger also in defensively for the Red Raiders, and about a half-a-yard gain to the 46.5-yard line. So it'll be 3rd down facing Texas A&M. Kyle Roaches comes back in at split end. Bubba Bean comes back in at halfback. He was out for a play. Jim Hartman had come in to replace him, but Bean is back in. Gain of a half-a-yard on the play. It'll be 3rd down coming, and about 8.5 needed. Aggies to the line of scrimmage. Once again, they go into a slot eye to the left side toward the wide side of the field. No wishbone tee this time. Here's Shipman sprinting out to the left side. Fakes the draw play. He's going to throw. He does. Complete to the 40. To the 35-yard line. Here's Skip Walker with the football. He's run out of bounds to the far side by Allen Emerson. Emerson jumped on his back and ran Skip Walker out of bounds, but not before Walker had picked up a 1st and 10 for Texas A&M at the 35-yard line. 11 yards on the play. So on the old slot eye toward the far side of the field, which shows a little bit of the ingenuity of Tom Wilson, who had moved in as the offensive coordinator for Texas A&M after being at Texas Tech for many years. That was his favorite formation when he was playing with Donnie Anderson at Texas Tech. Here's back to the wishbone tee again. 1st and 10 at the Texas Tech 35-yard line. Here's the handoff going to Ronnie Hubby, the fullback, boring into the left side of his own line, and he finds a lot of resistance there, and he's pushed all the way back across the 35, but the forward progress is going to be allowed to the 35-yard line. That was the line of scrimmage. Ray Hennig was in along with Harold Buell to make the tackle. Hennig, a 6', 210-pound senior from Garland, Dean's List student, playing at a defensive tackle position for Texas Tech. Now Ronnie Hubby has gone to the sidelines, and Bucky Sams is coming to replace him at fullback. Sams, a senior from Amarillo, Tascosa, 6', 210 pounds. Sams had been injured, hadn't worked out, except from about Thursday on this past week. Here's the handoff. Bucky Sams goes for 2 yards inside the 35 to the 33-yard line. Errol Buell is hanging on to him. Buell, a junior from Houston Spring Branch, an outstanding high school running back, playing at linebacker now for Texas Tech. 2-yard gain on the play. It'll be 3rd down and 8 now for Texas A&M, operating at the Texas Tech 33-yard line. Jim Kroll is in a defensive tackle now for Texas Tech, replacing Bill Bothwell. Dennis Swilley has gone out of the game, and Dennis Smelser is coming to replace him at offensive right tackle now for Texas A&M. The ball's at the 33-yard line. Texas Tech territory, 3rd down and 8. The Aggies come to the line of scrimmage. 7:51 left to go in the first quarter. No score in the ball game. Split in wide to the right side is Mike Floyd. Here is Shipman handing the second man by, but Skip Walker to the left side of his own line, and he knocked down at the 31-yard line. Wesley Schmidt, the defensive strong end, along with Ray Haney, get to make the tackle just short of the 31-yard line in Red Raider territory, but the ball is midway between the sideline stripes. And so this should bring on Tony Franklin. Franklin, the barefooted freshman kicker from Fort Worth Arlington Heights. He kicked a 50-yarder against Illinois. He'll be kicking into that wind that comes in at about 5 to 15 miles per hour out of the south. But the ball is midway between the sideline stripes almost. Matt Freeman comes in to snap it. David Shipman will hold, and Tony Franklin will try about a 49-yarder. The ball is down. The kick is high. It is long. And it is good. And Texas A&M goes into the lead on the 49-yard field goal by Tony Franklin. And the Aggies lead 3-0. 7 minutes and 6 seconds left to go in the first quarter here at Jones Stadium in Lubbock. And Dave, we've got a lot of excitement already in this ball game from two teams, at least one, Texas A&M, noted for its defense. Tony Franklin hooks this one off his foot to the left, and it almost goes out of bounds, but it is fielded by a Red Raider and then fumbled on the far side of the field around the 15-yard line. So that's where Texas Tech will have the ball, 1st and 10. Jimmy Williams over there trying to get his hands on the football and run it up that far sideline, but he fumbled it, went back, and fell on it at the 15. So the Red Raiders will have the ball 1st and 10 at their own 15-yard line, trailing now 3-0, Texas A&M leading the ball game. The Texas Aggie defense, number 1 in the nation coming into the game in total defense and rushing defense, number 3 nationally in scoring defense. So the Red Raiders come to the line of scrimmage. Split into the right side, flanker wide to the left. Tommy Donovan, the quarterback. Here is Donovan handing the ball off, and he gives it off to Rufus Myers. Myers to the 20, the 25, and out across the 25 to around the 28-yard line. And Texas Tech has the 1st and 10. But there may be a flag down in the play. Check and see if there's a flag. If the play is allowed to stand, Texas Tech will have a 1st down across the 25 and around the 27-yard line. Jackie Williams made the tackle, but here's penalty distance being stepped off against Texas A&M. The referee, McDuff Simpson, stepping off a 15-yarder against the Aggies, moves the ball out to the Texas Tech 43-yard line. Personal foul signaled against Texas A&M, so the Red Raiders will have a 1st down at the 43, Texas Tech territory, as they come to the line of scrimmage. Donovan, Isaac, Myers, and Bates in the offensive backfield. Bates wide to the left side, the split end Sammy Williams to the right side, the short side of the field. 5-2 defense for Texas A&M. 4 deep in the secondary. Donovan bows under and barks the signals. Here's the handoff going into the live play to Rufus Myers in the left side of his own line with a lot of power. He crosses the 45, gets to the 46-yard line, and there Edgar Fields and Jimmy Dean horse collar him and bring him down to the 46-yard line in Red Raider territory. Gain of about 3.5 or 4 in the play. It'll be 2nd down coming, and let's call it 6 needed. Long 6 for the Texas Tech Red Raiders, operating just outside their own 46-yard line. Up to the line of scrimmage they come. The ball near the hash mark on the right side of the field. Texas A&M leading by a score of 3-0. Red Raiders to the ball at their own 46. Split in right, flank it wide to the left side. 4-3 defense now by Texas A&M. Here's the handoff going to Larry Isaac. Isaac in the center of that line, gets to the 48-yard line. And there the stout Aggie defense meets him, led by Garth Napel. Also Blake Schwartz in on the defensive play for the Aggies. Out near the 48-yard line is where the ball is spotted. A yard or so gain in the play. It'll be 3rd down coming, and a little bit more than 5 yards needed for the 1st down. Defensively, Tank Marshall, Edgar Fields, Jimmy Dean, and Blake Schwartz for Texas A&M. Ed Simonini, Grady Wilkerson, and Garth Napel are the linebackers. Jackie Williams, Pat Thomas, Lester Hayes, and Willie Thompson in the defensive backfield. So the Red Raiders with a 3rd down and 5 at their own 48-yard line. Donovan goes straight back to pass. He looks over the middle, throws complete to the 50-yard line, but it's going to be short of the yardage needed for the 1st down. Rufus Myers, the fullback, made the grab at the 50, and there's a flag down to the 40-yard line in Aggie territory. Myers made the grab, but he was hit down immediately by a Texas Aggie, the 50-yard line. The point to be gained for the 1st down was about the 47. Grady Wilkerson made the tackle for the Aggies. Let's see the meaning of the markers down now at the 40-yard line in Aggie territory. McDuff Simpson conferring with the Aggies, which might indicate the option lies with them. A clipping signal against Texas Tech, declined by Texas A&M. That's going to bring up a 4th down now for Texas Tech, and the Red Raiders will have to punt it away. The line is coming from midfield stripe. Texas A&M leading by a score of 3-0. 5 minutes and 30 seconds left to go in the first quarter of play here at Jones Stadium in Lubbock. Carl Roaches and David Greeno back. Roaches is deepest inside his own 15-yard line. David Kirkendall goes back in deep punt formation for Texas Tech, standing around his own 35. He'll be punting with the breeze here in the first quarter of play. Aggies lead 3-0. Kirkendall awaits the snap. Gets a good snap, not much of a rush, gets it away nicely into the wind, fielded by Roaches inside the 10. He zigs and zags, and he's knocked down inside the 15 at about the 13-yard line. He was really smothered by a host of Texas Tech Red Raiders. There may have been a fumble, but I believe the Aggies have retained possession of the football. 41-yard kick by Kirkendall. Brian Nelson made the tackle for Texas Tech. Greg Wessels and Greg Atkins also in on the defensive play as Kyle Roaches fielded that ball around his own 10-yard line, started to come up in the middle of the field, but the Red Raiders were on him as they had that punt covered nicely and dropped him at the 13-yard line. So it's a 1st and 10 for Texas A&M as the Aggies lead by a score of 3-0. The Aggie defense ranks 8th nationally or rather their offense ranks 8th nationally. Of course, the defense number 1 in the nation. 1st and 10 at the Aggie 13-yard line. Here's Shipman, and he hands the ball off to the fullback. Bucky stands into the left side of his own line. He gets a yard or two out to the 15-yard line. Ray Henning is there along with Mike Mock to make the tackle. Mock in the linebacker now replacing Harold Buell. Mock, a 6'1", 200-pound sophomore from Longview. Named all-district in 3 positions his senior year at Longview. Linebacker, running back, and kicker. Great all-around athlete. Stopped the ball carry at the 15-yard line. A gain of 2 on the play. It'll be 2nd out and 8 now for Texas A&M. 4 minutes and 34 seconds left to go in the first quarter. The Aggies come to the line of scrimmage. Over the ball is Henry Tracy at center. They break the wishbone, go to the slot eye to the left side. David Shipman bows under and barks the signals. Shipman sprints out left, and he hands the ball off, and the sprint out ball play to Bubba Bean, and Bean punted the ball, and Texas Tech has it covered. Well, the Texas Tech Red Raiders get a big break as the Texas Aggies turn the ball over deep in Aggie territory. On the sprint out draw play, Bubba Bean went in the left side of his own line. He was hit on a crushing tackle by Mike Mock, and then Jim Krall recovered the fumble for Texas Tech, and the Red Raiders have the ball at the 15-yard line in Aggie territory. 3-0, Texas A&M leading, but the Red Raiders have the ball deep in Aggie territory. Split into the right side, flanker wide to the left. Here's Tommy Donovan pitching the ball back, and he gets it back to Rufus Myers, and Myers is hit behind the line of scrimmage, but manages to dive to the 15-yard line. Pat Thomas was there to hit him behind the line of scrimmage. It's Arkansas 7, Baylor 0 in the first quarter in their ball game at Waco. Our score 3-0, Texas A&M leading Texas. And Rufus Myers lost about a yard in that play back to the 16-yard line as Pat Thomas was blitzing out of the secondary from his left cornerback position and really hit Rufus Myers low and knocked him up into the air, and Myers came down at the 16. He lost of a yard in the play. It'll be 2nd down and 11. Red Raiders to the line of scrimmage. Hash mark on the far side of the field. Split into the right side, flank into the left. Here's Donovan running right. He wants to throw. He throws out to the left. It is complete at the 5-yard line. Pat Felix, the tight end, made the grab at the 5-yard line. Lester Hayes hit him immediately and brought him down, but it's going to be close for a 1st and 10 for Texas Tech. Inside the 5 near the 4-yard line. They're going to bring the chain in for the far side of the field to see whether or not it's a 1st down and goal to go for Texas Tech. The ball inside the 5 near the 4. The chain is stretched, and evidently it's going to be short by a little bit. Going to be short by a little bit as the Red Raiders have the ball around the 4-yard line. Texas A&M territory. 3 minutes and 27 seconds left to go in the first quarter. 3-0, Texas A&M leading. It'll be 3rd down and inches to go. Just inside the 5-yard line. Hash mark on the near side of the field. So the Red Raiders come to the line of scrimmage. Over the ball is David Dudley at center. Donovan Isaac, Myers, and Bates in the offensive backfield. 2 tight ends in the ball game now. Sylvester Brown and Pat Felix. Here is the handoff going. No, it's Tommy Donovan on the quarterback sneak off his own left guard position. He's to the 4, maybe the 3-yard line. It appears he has the 1st down and goal to go. Jimmy Dean and Blake Schwartz going to make the stop for Texas A&M. And it's 1st and goal to go for Texas Tech. They unstack the players around the 3-yard line. 1st and goal to go for the Red Raiders. Greg Davis, the offensive quick tackle. The quick guard is Tommy Lusk. The center is David Dudley. The strong guard is Mike Sears. The strong tackle is Dan Irons. The tight ends are Pat Felix and Sylvester Brown. Up to the line of scrimmage. Flanker wide to the right side. Two tight ends in the ball game. Here's the handoff going to Rufus Myers. Diving. He's in for the touchdown. Texas Tech Red Raiders, after recovering a fumble at the 15-yard line, take it in for 6 points and put the Aggies behind. The first time Texas A&M has been behind in the 1975 season. David Dudley, Mike Sears, and Dan Irons opened the hole for Rufus Myers as he went diving in about 4 yards for the touchdown. Here's the point after try. It's going to be Brian Hall to try it. He's 5 of 6 on the year so far. Ricky Bates will hold. The ball is down. The kick is up in the air, and it is no good. It is wide to the left. So its score remains 6 for Texas Tech, 3 for the Texas Aggies with 3 minutes showing on the scoreboard clock. That's the time left in the first quarter. Dave?
Yeah.
With the adrenaline pumping, David Bellard kicked the ball off the field of play from the south 40-yard line, kicking it off after the Red Raider touchdown, and Texas A&M will have the ball 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. It's time for a station break. We pause now for station identification. Stadium in Lubbock, Texas Tech leading Texas A&M 6-3. The Aggies have the ball 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. David Shipman is covered down as he tries to go the option play to the left side. He's hit up around the shoulder pads by Wesley Schmidt, but he's been a strong end for Texas Tech, and he pulled down Shipman around the 20-yard line. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 10 now for the Texas Aggies. Going with Shipman at quarterback. Left halfback Bubba Bean. The fullback Bucky Sams. The right halfback is Skip Walker. Split end is Mike Floyd now. Glenn Bujnock, the left tackle. Bruce Welch, the left guard. The center is Henry Tracy. Billy Lemons in at right guard. He had been injured. Dennis Schmelzer in at right tackle. And Richard Osborne is the tight end as the Aggies come to the line of scrimmage. Wide out to the right side is the split end Mike Floyd. A wishbone tee in the backfield. 2nd down and 10 from the Aggie 20-yard line. Shipman bows under and goes to his left. Fakes the handoff. Wants the pass. Throws downfield and it's too high and too far for the intended receiver. Going down the far sideline, it was Richard Osborne, the tight end, but he couldn't catch up with the football as Shipman really had the pressure put on him that time by the Texas Tech defense as they came sifting through. Tony Green was defending for the Red Raiders, so it'll be 3rd down and 10 now for Texas A&M operating at their own 20-yard line. 6-3, Texas Tech leading. 2 minutes and 13 seconds left to go in the first quarter. The ball at the hash mark on the far side of the field. Kyle Roaches comes back into the game, and Mike Floyd goes to the sideline. Texas Tech with Wesley Schmidt, Fred Schusler, E. Comet Burley, Jim Kroll, and Richard Arledge up front. Aggies come to the line of scrimmage. Wide to the right side is Kyle Roaches. This is 3rd down and 10 from the 20-yard line. David Shipman at quarterback. He hands the ball off, and it's Bucky Sands bouncing to the right side of his own line, and he has crossed the 25 out near the 29-yard line, and he almost picked up the 1st down. Harold Buell and Curtis Jordan caught up with him. The Red Raiders are possibly looking for the pass on 3rd and long that time, but the handoff into Bucky Sands. He had a hole in the right side of his own line, but he didn't quite pick up the 10 yards. He got about 8.5, so it'll be punt time as Mark Stanley comes in from the far sideline. Matt Freeman comes off the bench. The junior from Lake Jackson snaps the long snaps for the Texas Aggies. Brian Nelson back in a deep safety around his own 35-yard line awaiting the kick, and Mark Stanley will be kicking into the breeze now here in the 2nd quarter. Gets a good snap, and he toes it downfield, end-over-end long drive, fielded on a fair catch by a Texas Tech Red Raider at about the 41-yard line. Tony Green made the grab. Williams goes wide to the right, to the left side, and Bates is wide to the right. 7-1 defense up front for Texas A&M as Donovan bows under and barks the signals. Here's Donovan the option. Gives the pitch back to Rufus Myers. Running wide to his left. Almost caught to the 40. Pulls away and gets to the 45-yard line. Rufus Myers being tackled by Garth Tenable in the near side of the field. Tenable back to the 40-yard line, but he managed to hang on by just a little bit of Rufus Myers' jersey, and then finally ushered him out of bounds up around the 45-yard line. A gain of 4 in the play. It'll be 2nd down and 6 now for Texas Tech. The ball at the hash mark on the near side of the field. Red Raiders moving from south to north here in the first quarter with 1:23 left to go in the first quarter of play. Texas Tech 6, Texas A&M 3. The Red Raiders to the line of scrimmage. Over the ball at center is David Dudley. Flanker wide to the right side is Ricky Bates. Split end to the left side, Sammy Williams. Here's Donovan handing the ball to Rufus Myers. Bouncing into the right side of his own line. Clears the 46, gets to the 47-yard line, and that's all before Edgar Fields jumps on him. Fields, a junior from Austin Johnston High School, credited with 35 tackles this season. The other tackle, Jimmy Dean, also in on the play. He's one of the captains of the Texas line of scrimmage, the 47-yard line. A couple of yards gained on the play. It'll be 3rd down coming and 4 needed now for Texas Tech. Operating at the 47-yard line in Red Raider territory. Split end to the right side. Left side, a flanker wide to the right. Here's Donovan at quarterback. 5-2 defense for Texas A&M up front. Here's Donovan the option play. Hands the ball off and is fumbled and recovered by Texas A&M. Blake Schwartz pounces on the football for Texas A&M. And the Red Raiders give up the ball once again on a turnover. Tommy Donovan and Rufus Myers had trouble on the exchange that time. The ball dropped to the AstroTurf, and Blake Schwartz pounced on it for the Aggies. And Texas A&M has the football at the 47-yard line in Red Raider territory. That's the second time the Red Raiders have given up the ball on a fumble in the ball game tonight. Aggies to the line of scrimmage, 47-yard line, split end to the left side. Wishbone T in the backfield. The ball midway between the sideline stripes. Here's David Shipman faking, pitching. Bubba Bean running wide to the right. Takes a cut to the 45, the 40, the 35, the 30. Down the near sideline. Takes a cut towards center field. At the 15, the 10, the 5. He's in for the touchdown. Bubba Bean running out of the left halfback spot for Texas A&M, breaking down the near sideline. As he ran into heavy traffic around the 20-yard line, he made a cut back to the center of the field, and Winover standing up with a Texas A&M TD from 47 yards out. And the Aggies go back into the lead by a score of 9-6 with a point after try yet to come. Tony Franklin will come in. Franklin is 10 of 13 on the year in the point after department. David Shipman will hold. Matt Freeman will snap it. Franklin, the barefooted freshman kicker from Fort Worth, Arlington Heights. The ball is down. Franklin's kick is up in the air. It's high, and it is long, and it is good. And Texas A&M leads by a score of 10-6 over Texas Tech. Well, that was like a lightning shot, wasn't it, Dave?
And Jack, as Bubba raced 47 yards for his touchdown, he set a new record in the Southwest Conference in rushing. He needed 64 yards tonight to move into ninth place, passing Texas Steve Worcester, and he's just done that with that 47-yard run. He now has 75 yards in tonight's contest. So he's passed TCU's Mike Luttrell when he had 23 yards in 10th place. Now he's passed Steve Worcester, formerly of the University of Texas, moving into ninth place. He needs 126 yards yet to set a new all-time rushing record on the Texas A&M campus. Jack?
Billy Taylor back deep, awaiting Tony Franklin's kick as the low liner bounces at the 20, picked up by a short man around the 15-yard line, up to the 20, 25, racing to the 30-yard line is Brian Nelson with a football, and he is hit and knocked back by a hard charge by the Texas Aggies. But the forward progress is going to be allowed out around the 30-yard line, and that's where Texas Tech will have the ball first and 10. Ball near the hash mark on the far side of the field. 25 seconds left to go in the first quarter. 10-6 to score. Texas A&M leading Texas Tech. Crowd of over 50,000 at Jones Stadium. A beautiful night for football. The temperature in the 70s. The wind comes out of the south at 5 to 15 miles per hour. And Texas Tech here in the first quarter has had that wind at their back. 25 seconds left to go in the first period. Split into the right side. Flank it wide to the left side. 4-3 defense for Texas A&M. Tommy Donovan at quarterback for the Red Raiders. Marks the signals. Hands off on the dive play to Rufus Myers into the left side of his own line. And the Texas Aggie defense squeezes him down at about the 31-yard line. A gain of about a 1 on the play. Jimmy Dean in on the tackle for the Texas Aggies at the 31. Rufus Myers gains 1. Second down and 9 now for Texas Tech. Donovan, Isaac, Myers, and Bates in the offensive backfield. Sammy Williams is split end. The tight end is Pat Felix, a senior, 6'2", 225-pounder from San Antonio McCullum. He's one of the captains. And there's the end of the first quarter with a score Texas A&M 10, Texas Tech 6. The second quarter of play. Texas Tech moving from north to south, my left to our right here in the second period. Here's second down and 9 from the Texas Tech 31-yard line. Donovan back to pass in the pocket, throws long downfield. And it's complete to the 45-yard line in Aggie territory. Ricky Bates made the grab, and he was hit immediately by Willie Thompson, the right cornerback, who had him covered nicely. But Bates went high into the air. He had a step on him, made the grab, and was knocked down at the 45-yard line in Aggie territory. A 26-yard pass and run play. So the Red Raiders hit on a long pass play with Tommy Donovan to his flanker back, Ricky Bates. Donovan had hit on 18 of 38 for 201 yards, 47% coming into the ball game tonight, and he was on target with that one, 26-yarder. Ball at the 45-yard line, Aggie territory, first and 10. Donovan bows under, split end to the left side, flanker wide to the right side. Bates is wide to the right this time. Here's Donovan, and he hands the ball off to Rufus Myers. Myers is hit at the 45-yard line, the line of scrimmage, and knocked down by Tank Marshall. Marshall, the junior from Dallas Roosevelt, 6'5", 260 pounds, playing at the defensive left end position, and a loss on the play. Back to the 47-yard line as the knee touchdown back at the 47. So it'll be second down and 12 for Texas Tech. Hank Marshall making the big defensive play for the Texas Aggies. 14 minutes and 16 seconds left to go in the first half. 10-6, Texas A&M leading. Flanker left, split end to the right side. Stanley Williams is wide to the right. Donovan at quarterback. He goes straight back to pass. In the pocket, being chased, and he runs out of the pocket to the left side, and he is knocked down to the 50-yard line. Tommy Donovan running out of trouble to the far sideline, but he couldn't get away from a couple of 3 Texas Aggies over there. Ed Simonini was there to put the hit on him along with Tank Marshall, and they pulled him down to the 49-yard line in Texas Aggie territory. A couple of more yards lost in the play. Back to the 49. So the Texas Aggie defense pushing the Red Raiders backward now. Texas Tech had a 1st and 10 just inside the Texas A&M 45-yard line after Donovan connected with Ricky Bates on a 26-yard pass play. But the Aggies have really stiffened here and pushed the Red Raiders back to the 49. Here is 3rd down and 14 as the Red Raiders come to the line of scrimmage. Split end to the left, flank it wide to the right side. Here's Donovan straight back to pass on 3rd and long. Screens it out to the right, and it's dropped. Intended for Rufus Myers. He caught the ball, but then dropped it. Donovan was being pressured that time by the 2 tackles, Edgar Fields and Jimmy Dean, and he just dumped the ball off to his fullback, Rufus Myers, on a sort of a middle screen to the right side, and Rufus Myers dropped the ball. So it's to the 49-yard line, where it'll be 4th down and 14 for Texas Tech. Carl Roaches goes back deep around the 10. David Greeno is the short man in the punt receiving setup around the 25-yard line. David Kirkendall trots onto the field on the near sideline, the 5'10 junior from Dallas Thomas Jefferson, averaging 36.9 punting coming into the ball game tonight. He likes to play in the defensive secondary, but they won't let him anymore after he broke an arm in spring training. They keep him out of there because he's too valuable as a punter. Here's a chest-high snap, and he gets it away nicely, sailing it into the breeze. Fair catch called for, made by Carl Roaches at the 15-yard line, and that's where the Texas Aggies will take over 1st and 10 after a 34-yard kick. Well, Dave, what about some of those statistics in the first quarter of the game?
Jack, in the first quarter, Texas A&M had 3 first downs. Texas Tech had 4 of them. The Aggies tried a couple of passes. They completed 1 for 11 yards. And on the other hand, the Red Raiders attempted 4 passes, and they completed 5, and they completed 4 of them for about 50 yards in the air in the first quarter. The big factor, though, has been turnovers. Both teams have lost the ball twice on fumbles.
1st and 10 for the Aggies at their own 16-yard line. There's a flag flying as Bucky Sams goes into the right side of his own line, clears the 20, gets out to the 25-yard line before he's knocked down. Tony Green in to make the tackle out of the secondary for the Red Raiders, but let's see the meaning of that flag now. And it may be against the Texas Aggies, and it could be a clipping penalty against the Aggies. The flag is about the 18-yard line. McDuff Simpson stepping off half the distance to the goal line against Texas A&M. Move the ball inside the 10 to about the 8-yard line, and it'll bring a 1st down at about 20 from that point. 1st down and 18. 13 minutes and 5 seconds left to go in the second quarter of play. 10-6 the score. Texas A&M leading Texas Tech. Jones Stadium in Lubbock. Over 50,000 football fans on hand for this one. It's standing room only. The ball midway between the sideline stripes. Inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. The Texas Aggies backed up deep in their own goal line. Near their own goal line after the penalty is assessed. Split end to the right side. Wishbone T in the backfield. Here's David Shippen handing off as flags fly. Bucky Sams into the right side of his own line. He's caught around the ankles and pulled down across the 10 at about the 11-yard line. Harold Buell was the tackler. Illegal procedure is the preliminary signal given against the Texas Aggies. So McDuff Simpson moves in to confer with the Texas Tech Red Raiders, indicating the option lies with them. Will they take it or will they take the play? There was a gain of about 3-4 yards on that play. Let's see where they put the football down, up around the 12-yard line. 4 yards gain in the play. So they use up a down. It'll be 2nd down coming, and still long yardage needed. 2nd down at about 14. Frank Myers comes into the ballgame at offensive right guard, and Billy Lemons goes to the sideline for Texas A&M. Lemons, a junior from Tampa, 6'5", 280. He had been hurt this past week with a bad ankle and did not start the ballgame, but he has seen a lot of action. Ball is just outside the 11-yard line now as they place it again. It'll be 2nd down and 14 for Texas A&M. Henchmark on the far side of the field. Here is the handoff to the fullback. Bucky Sams on the left side of his own line. He keeps plowing to the 15, the 20-yard line, and stopped near the 29-yard line, and knocked down at that point by Thomas Howard. Howard coming to the linebacker spot for Texas Tech, making the tackle on Bucky Sams, and Sams just wouldn't be denied. He plowed into the left side of his own line. Had a hole there. He was hit a couple of times as he got past the line of scrimmage, but he just kept chugging and got out to the 24-yard line. It'll be 3rd down coming, and about 2 needed now for Texas A&M. So they made up a lot on that play by Bucky Sams, the fullback. And the Aggies come to the line of scrimmage. Econ McCurdy is out of the ball game, and Curtis Reed is into the middle guard position now for Texas Tech. Here is 3rd down and 2 for Texas A&M at their own 24-yard line. David Shipman faking. He's going to keep. He's going to run. Has the first down. He's to the 30 to 35, and he's pushed to the bounds to the far side of the field up around the 38-yard line. David Shipman, the junior from Odessa Permian, carrying the football for Texas A&M. Eric Felton, the left side cornerback, pushed him out of bounds on the far sideline. Shipman needed 2, but he got about 12 or 13 on that play as he was pushed out of bounds up around the 39-yard line on the far side of the field. Texas A&M with new life. 11 minutes and 41 seconds left to go in the second quarter. 10-6 the score. Texas A&M leading Texas Tech. The Aggies went into the lead by a score of 3-0, and then Texas Tech came back with a touchdown. It was 6-3, and then the Aggies scored a touchdown and an extra point. Here is David Shipman faking, running the option. Caught him up down back in his own backfield. He was in at the 35 and wrestled down back at the 33 or 32-yard line. Alan Emerson was blitzing out of the secondary, caught him around the arms and just pulled him down. As Shipman couldn't do anything with the football, his arms were pinned to his sides, and they mark him dead at the 35-yard line. That's where he was hit by Alan Emerson. So a loss on the play of about 4. It'll be 2nd down and 14 now for Texas A&M. So the Texas Tech defense rises to the occasion and throws the Texas Aggies for a loss back at the 35-yard line. The Aggies with Shipman, Bean, Sands, and Walker in the offensive backfield. Mike Floyd is a split in, and he goes wide to the right side. Wishbone T in the backfield. 5-2 defense for Texas Tech up front. And here is Shipman handing the ball off to Sands. Oh, he kept it, and he's knocked down back at the 30-yard line. It appeared he had handed to Bucky Sands, but he kept the ball himself, and he's knocked down back at the 30-yard line. In there to make the tackle was Mike Mock, and also John Klinger in on the defensive play for Texas Tech. And they're going to mark Shipman down at the 31-yard line. And it's another 4-yard loss tacked on by the Texas Tech defense as the Aggie offense is moving backward now as the Red Raider defense has really stiffened. 10 minutes and 30 seconds left to go in the first half. 10-6 the score. Texas A&M leading. The Aggies come to the line of scrimmage. They have 3rd down and long. 3rd down and about 18. They break the wishbone. Go to a slot eye to the left side. Here is Shipman running to the right on the option. He may pitch it. He does. Bubba Bean carries down the far side. Breaks the middle of the 35 to 40. He gets up near the 44-yard line before he's finally pulled down. Bubba Bean racing around his own right end, and he was pulled down by Jim Crawl, the defensive tackle who had raced over there to make the defensive play for the Red Raiders up around the 45-yard line, but it's going to be shorter yardage needed for the first down by about 4 yards. It'll bring up a punting situation for Texas A&M, and Mark Stanley comes onto the field. 9 minutes and 51 seconds left to go in the first half of play. 10-6 the score. Texas A&M leading. So the Texas Aggies will be punting away, and Mark Stanley will be kicking with the breeze. Brian Nelson is back deep inside the 20-yard line. A helmet-high snap, and Stanley really gets a toe into this one. Sails it deep. Nelson fields the ball out around the 12-yard line, races to the near sideline, makes a cut to the 10, he's to the 20, and knocked down as he gets out around the 24-yard line. Brian Nelson, the freshman for Wichita Falls Riders, 6'1", 175, average 6.3 yards per punt return. Coming into the ballgame, there's a flag down on the play as Craig Glendenning made the tackle for Texas A&M. Let's see the meaning of that flag now, thrown up around the 30-yard line in Red Raider territory. Preliminary signal is clipping against Texas Tech. 43-yard kick by Mark Stanley, and 11-yard return by Brian Nelson. Here's penalty distance being stepped off against Texas Tech. Half the distance to the goal line from the spot of the foul. Moves the ball inside the 15 back to the 12-yard line, and from there it'll be 1st down and 10 for the Red Raiders. So the ball at the Red Raider 12. Hash mark on the near side of the field. We have a new quarterback for Texas Tech. Rodney Ellison, the sophomore from Odessa High School, comes in. Movement along the line of scrimmage, and flags fly before the ball is snapped. And let's see who's guilty of the infraction. Is it the offense for moving first, or was it the defense for jumping across? The officials move in over the ball, and here is illegal procedure against Texas Tech and against Texas A&M. Offsetting penalties, so bring it back to the 12-yard line. It'll be 1st down and 10 from that point. Offsetting penalties against Texas Tech and Texas A&M. 9 minutes and 26 seconds left to go in the first half of play. 10-6 the score. Texas A&M leading. Red Raiders backed up deep in their own end of the field, back around their own 12-yard line. Rodney Allison brings him to the line of scrimmage. Here's Allison faking. He's back to pass. Goes long down the near sideline, and it's too high for the intended receiver. Sammy Williams, the split end, was racing down the near sideline with Pat Thomas step for step, but the pass was thrown too high. Both tried to get their hands on the ball, but they couldn't get to it, and it goes incomplete. So it's 2nd and 10 now for Texas Tech at their own 12-yard line. Allison had come into the ball game having hit on 7 of 19 passes for 51 yards in the 1975 season thus far. He's known as the running quarterback for Texas Tech, while Tommy Donovan is known as the passing quarterback for the Red Raiders. Up to the line of scrimmage they come. Allison looks over the Texas Aggie defense, a 5-2 defense up front. 4 men in the secondary. Split end to the right side, flank it wide to the left side is Donald Roberts. Here is the handoff going up the middle of the side to Rufus Myers, and he plows into the center of the line. Gets maybe a yard to the 13-yard line. Jimmy Dean comes in to make the initial contact, and also Edgar Fields in on the play defensively for Texas A&M at about the 14-yard line. No, the 13 is where they mark it down. A yard gain of the play. It'll be 3rd down and 9 now for Texas Tech at the Red Raider 13. Allison, Isaac, Myers, and Roberts in the offensive backfield. Sylvester Brown at tight end. The split end to Sammy Williams. Williams goes wide to the right side. Donald Roberts, the flanker, is wide to the left side, toward the wide side of the field. 5-2 defense up front for Texas A&M as Rodney Allison bows under, barks the signals. Hands to the second man by. That's Larry Isaac into the left side of his own line, and he is hit immediately at the line of scrimmage as the Texas Aggie defense has really gotten stiff. Hank Marshall in on the defensive play for Texas A&M, and they allow the Red Raiders out to the 15-yard line. From the 12 to the 15, 3 yards on that series, and it'll be 4th down coming, and 7 needed now for Texas Tech. So the Aggie defense, number 1 in the nation, has really stiffened against the Red Raiders here in the second quarter. 8 minutes and 10 seconds left to go in the first half. Carl Roaches and David Greeno are back. Roaches is deepest, and David Kirkendall stands around his own 1-yard line. Away yard line, where if the play would have been allowed to stand, the Texas Aggies would have had great field position. 1st and 10 at the Red Raider 40-yard line. So a big break for Texas Tech. Red Raiders up to the line of scrimmage. Over the ball is David Dudley at center. Quarterback is still Rodney Allison. Flanker wide to the left, split end wide to the right side. 5-2 defense for Texas A&M. Allison bows under and barks the signals. Takes the snap from center, and the option play goes down the line of scrimmage and keeps it himself after the fake. Goes off his own left tackle position. Gets out to the 32, maybe the 33-yard line before he's knocked down. It's Arkansas 7 and Baylor 3 in the second quarter of their ball game. Our score is Texas A&M 10 and Texas Tech 6 with 7.5 minutes left to go in the first half of play here at jam-packed Jones Stadium tonight. Crowd of over 50,000 football fans on hand. Gain of about 2 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 8 now for Texas Tech, operating at their own 33-yard line. Steve Spitzenberger in at defensive tackle, replacing Jimmy Dean now. 5-2 defensive alignment for Texas A&M. Split end to the right side, flank to the left for the Red Raiders. Rodney Allison at quarterback. 2nd down and 8 on the option. Pitches it back to Rufus Myers, running wide to the right. He's caught and knocked down behind the line of scrimmage. May have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, but that's about all. Edgar Fields came knifing through there and made the tackle for Texas A&M at the 32-yard line near the western sideline of Jones Stadium. 33-yard line is where the ball carrier was spotted down about the line of scrimmage. It will be 3rd down coming, and still 8 yards needed for the first down. Offensively, Sammy Williams at split end, the tight end Pat Felix, the tackles are Dan Irons and Greg Davis, the guards are Mike Sears and Tommy Lusk, and the center is David Dudley for the Texas Tech Red Raiders. 6 minutes and 41 seconds left to go in the second quarter of play here at Jones Stadium in Lubbock. Have a timeout on the field at the present time. 10-6, Texas A&M leading the ball game over the Texas Tech Red Raiders. So there's a called timeout on the field with a score. Texas A&M 10, Texas Tech 6. Here's Dave Smith. Here's 3rd and 8 for Texas Tech at the Red Raider 33-yard line. Slot to the left, and here's Allison back in the pocket to throw. Goes long downfield, and it is Williams, the split end, making the grab. Lester Hayes was right there with him, and Hayes pulled him down at the 33 in Aggie territory. So the Red Raiders have hit on 2 long passes. Donovan connected with Ricky Bates early in the ball game, and now Allison connects with Sammy Williams, the split end for 25 yards to the 33-yard line in Texas A&M territory. So the Red Raiders up to the line of scrimmage, 10-6, Texas A&M leading in the ball game. 6:21 left to go in the first half. Split end to the left side, flank it wide to the right. Allison bows under and barks the signals. 6-1 defense for Texas A&M up front. Here is Allison faking, pitching, and the ball goes to Jimmy Williams running wide to the left, and he's hit down on the far side of the field around the 32, maybe the 31-yard line. Ed Simonini came in to blast him on the far side of the field. The 6-foot, 220-pound junior from Las Vegas, Nevada, with 41 tackles coming into the ball game tonight, and he's had 2 interceptions. The ball at the 32-yard line in Texas Aggie territory, a gain of 1 on the play. About 31.5, a gain of about 1.5. We'll call it 2 yards on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 8 now for Texas Tech at the 31-yard line in Aggie territory. The ball at the hash mark on the far side of the field. Flanker wide to the right side is Ricky Bates. Split end to the left is Sammy Williams. Rodney Allison, the quarterback, the sophomore from Odessa, barking the signals. 6-1 defense for Texas A&M. Allison goes straight back to pass. In the pocket, good protection, throws out to the left flat. It's complete. And being knocked out of bounds inside the 25-yard line is Sammy Williams, the split end. He was hit by Willie Thompson, the junior right side cornerback from El Paso Burgess for Texas A&M. Let's see whether it's going to be a first down for the Red Raiders. It'll depend on whether they mark the ball, and it's going to be 1st and 10 for Texas Tech. A 10-yard pass play from Rodney Allison to Sammy Williams. 21-yard line is where they mark him out. It'll be 1st and 10 from that point. Texas Aggie into the field, and the Red Raiders are moving here on this drive with 5:12 left to go in the first half. 10-6, Texas A&M on top. Split end left, flank to the right side. Down the middle goes Jimmy Williams. He powers to the 20 and the 15-yard line, and he's hit down at the Texas Aggie 15. Jackie Williams out of the secondary. The senior from Plano made the tackle on him, but Williams almost knocked down at the line of scrimmage, managed to get by, and as he did, he just kept plowing to the 15-yard line. Mike Sears and Dan Irons laid out the red carpet for him up around the line of scrimmage, and then Jimmy Williams, running tough, went to the 15. A gain of 6 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 4 now for Texas Tech at the Aggie 15-yard line. Flank to left, split end to the right side. 5-2 defense for the Aggies up front. Here's the handoff again to Jimmy Williams. Spins under the center of the line, and this time he goes nowhere. Maybe a yard inside the 15 to the 14. Grady Wilkerson is there, the junior from Modesto Permian, along with Jimmy Bean to converge and bring down the ball carrier. Jimmy Williams for a 1-yard gain at the 14-yard line. It'll be 3rd down coming and 3 needed now for Texas Tech. 4 minutes and 12 seconds left to go in the first half of play. 10-6 to score. Texas A&M leading. 2 tight ends in the ball game now for the Red Raiders as Sylvester Brown comes in and Sammy Williams goes out. The Red Raiders up to the line of scrimmage. 14-yard line Aggie territory. 2 tight ends, and here is Allison handing the ball off on the right. Play to Jimmy Williams into the right side of his own line, and he clears to the 12, maybe the 11-yard line, and there he is hit down by 1, 2, 3 Texas Aggies led by Edgar Fields. Let's see where they're going to mark him down. It's going to be near the 12, nearer the 13-yard line. A gain of about a half a yard in the play. It'll be 4th down coming, and about a yard or a yard and a half to go. 4th and about a yard and a half. Rodney Allison comes over the near sideline. Gets some instructions from Coach Steve Sloan, and he's called a timeout to talk it over. 4th down and about a yard and a half needed. 3 minutes and 37 seconds left to go in the first half. 10-6 the score. Texas A&M leading. The holder will be Ricky Bates, the senior from Arlington, the flanker back. Bates awaits the snap. The ball is down. Hall's kick is up in the air. It's high enough. It's long enough. And it is good. A 30-yard field goal by Brian Hall. And it's a 10-9 ball game with Texas A&M on top by 1 as Brian Hall had missed an extra point try earlier in the ball game after the Red Raiders scored their touchdown. And that accounts for the difference on the scoreboard. 10 for Texas A&M, 9 for Texas Tech with 3 minutes and 32 seconds left to go in the first half of play here at Jones Stadium in Lubbock. Dave, do you have a word?
Let's go back to the action now in Jack Davis.
Skip Walker fields the ball to his own goal line, comes out to the 5, 10, 15-yard line, and there he's hit down by a couple of 3 red-clad Red Raiders, led by Richard Arledge, the sophomore from Richardson, 6'4", 185-pounder. So the Texas Aggies will have the ball 1st and 10 at their own 16-yard line as they spot Skip Walker down at that point, and it'll be 1st and 10, 3:26 left to go in the first half. 10-9 the score now. Texas A&M on top by 1. David Shipman, Bubba Bean, Bucky Sands, and Skip Walker in the offensive backfield. Richard Osmond and Kyle Roaches at the ends. Roaches is wide to the right side. Wishbone King in the backfield. 7 men up on the line of scrimmage for Texas Tech. Here is Shipman giving up to Sands, and Sands is bulldogged down as he crosses the line of scrimmage. Gets maybe a yard out to the 17-yard line. Bill Bothwell was there to hit him along with Wesley Schmidt. Also, Fred Schussler gets up off the pile, and it's going to be the 17-yard line with the ball carrier spotted down. A gain of a yard on the play from the 16 to 17. It'll be 2nd down and 9 now for the Texas Aggies. Their own 17-yard line. Mike Floyd comes in. Carl Roaches goes out. Bujnak and Swilly are the tackles. Myers and Welch the guards. Henry Tracy is at center. Comes out of the huddle and over the ball. Split end on the left side is Mike Floyd. Wishbone King in the backfield. 7-man line. Defensively for Texas Tech. Shipman on the keeper play. Runs wide to the right. He pulls away from 1 man at the 22. Gets out to the 25. Maybe the 26-yard line before he's knocked down. Thomas Howard was hanging on to him. The senior from Lubbock Dunbar High School. 6'2", 200-pounder. Also Ray Hennigan in the defensive play for the Red Raiders. Going to be short of the first down by a little bit as the ball carrier was marked down just over the 25-yard line. And it'll be less than a yard for a first down. It's Arkansas 14, Baylor 3 in the second quarter of their ball game at Waco. Our score is Texas A&M 10 and Texas Tech 9 with 2 minutes and 15 seconds left to go in the first half. Aggies to the line of scrimmage, 3rd and short. The ball just outside the Aggie 25-yard line. Split end left side, Shipman the quarterback. He hangs to Bucky Sands, and he may not have made it. He was hit back at the 25-yard line. he stands into the left side of his own line. He was hit by Ray Hennig first, and then a ferocious charge by a couple of three Texas Tech defenders pushed the ball carrier back, and the Texas Aggies did not make it. They'll have to kick it away. Mark Stanley comes into the far sideline, and the partisan Texas Tech Red Raider fans give that Red Raider defense a hand as they force the Aggies into a punting situation. 4th down and about a yard needed. Mike Stanley goes back in deep punt formation, standing right at his own 10-yard line. Brian Nelson is back along with Larry Dupree. Dupree is deepest back around the 30-yard line. Here is the kick by Mark Stanley, a high nose-up spiral. Dupree fields the ball inside his own 30-yard line, comes to the near sideline, and he's hit as he gets to the 32 and forces his way to about the 33-yard line, and that's all before he's knocked down by a couple of Aggies on the near side. David Greeno was there to hit in first. A 47-yard kick with the win that time by Mark Stanley, and the Red Raiders will have the ball 1st and 10 around their own 33-yard line, the hash mark on the near side of the field. 1 minute, 15 seconds left to go in the first half. 10-9 the score. Texas A&M on top of Texas Tech. And the Red Raiders will have Rodney Allison at quarterback. Tommy Donovan started the ball game, quarterbacked all the first quarter and most of the second, then Allison came in. Here's the handoff up the middle to Larry Eisey. He ducks his head, goes into the center of the line, gets to the 35, maybe the 36-yard line. Jimmy Dean is there getting off the pile defensively for the Texas Aggies. And it's the 31-yard line with the ball carrier spotted down. A couple of yards gain in the play. 2nd down and 8 now for Texas Tech. Terry Anderson in at center now, replacing David Dudley. Cliff Hoskins is in at tailback. Jimmy Williams, the fullback for the Red Raiders. Wilbert Cunningham is in at strong tackle, replacing Dan Irons. So some new faces for the Red Raiders now. Here's 2nd down and 8 from the Red Raiders 36-yard line. Flanker left, split end to the right side. Here's the handoff into the left side to Jimmy Williams, and Williams just carries tacklers with him across the 40-yard line out to the Red Raider 41 before he's finally persuaded to go down to the AstroTurf. Grady Wilkerson and Jimmy Dean hanging on to him, but Jimmy Williams running with a lot of power. Moved all the way out to the 41-yard line before he was knocked down. It'll be 3rd down coming, about 2 yards needed for the first down. 18 seconds left to go in the first half. 10-9, Texas A&M on top of the Red Raiders by 1 point. Texas Tech at their own 41-yard line. Just watching the clock count down now. They come up to the line of scrimmage. This will probably be the last play of the first half. Allison bows under and barks the signals. On the turnaround, hands to Jimmy Williams again. He has the first down as he crashes out near the 45, but that's the end of the first half with the score. Texas A&M 10 and Texas Tech 9.
34th meeting between the Raiders and the Aggies. The Aggies 10, the Red Raiders 9. Here to describe the next 30 minutes of football to you is Jack Dale.
Okay, Dave Smith, here to begin the second half of the ball game. Texas Tech will be receiving at the north end of the field. Texas A&M will be kicking from the south end. And the Aggies will have the win at their back here in the 3rd period of play. Tony Franklin has the ball teed up at the south 40-yard line. Billy Taylor waits deep in the end zone. Franklin gets a good toe into it, sends Taylor deep in the end zone. He fields it, runs off the field of play for the automatic touchback, and the Texas Tech Red Raiders will have the ball 1st and 10 at the Red Raider 20-yard line. So we'll see who Coach Steve Sloan sends in at quarterback here to begin the 3rd period of play. He used 2 in the first half, Tommy Donovan and Rodney Allison, to check the rest of that Red Raider offense as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Rufus Myers suffered a dislocated shoulder in the first half of the ball game, and Jimmy Williams came in and replaced him late in the first half. So Myers will see no more action tonight. The senior from Port Lavaca, he had scored 4 touchdowns and was 2nd in the Southwest Conference in scoring coming into the ball game tonight. Tommy Donovan is the quarterback as he brings his ball club up to the line of scrimmage. Split end to the left side, flank it wide to the right. 5-2 defense for the Texas Aggies up front. Here's the handoff up the middle. Jimmy Williams, and he's out to the 25-yard line, and he's hit hard there. He almost pulled away at the 25, but a Texas Aggie came out to the secondary and blasted him. That was Jackie Williams. Came in to make the tackle secure out around the 26-yard line. That's where they marked Williams down. A 6-yard gain in the play, 2nd down and 4. It's Arkansas 21, Baylor 3 at the halftime. Our score 10-9. Texas A&M leading Texas Tech. We're just underway in the 3rd period of play. Red Raiders to the line of scrimmage, their own 26-yard line. 2nd down and 4. Flanker left, split end to the right side. Donovan the quarterback. 4-3 defense now for the Texas Aggies up front. And flags flies. Tommy Donovan carries the ball. He has the first down across the 30 down to the 33-yard line. And there he's wrestled down by Edgar Fields, the junior from Austin Johnston High School. And let's see the meaning of the flags. Red Raiders have a first down if the play is allowed to stand out around the Texas Tech 32-yard line. And that evidently is going to be the case. Offside signal against Texas A&M. It's declined by Texas Tech. The Red Raiders take the play and the first down at the 32-yard line. Off the hash mark on the far side of the field. Donovan, Isaac, Williams, and Bates in the offensive backfield. Sammy Williams is the split end. The tight end is Pat Felix. The tackles are Wilbert Cunningham and Greg Davis. The guards are Mike Sears and Tommy Lust. And the center is David Dudley. Up to the line of scrimmage. 1st and 10, 32-yard line, red-rated territory. Here's the fake by Donovan. Throws over the middle, and it is knocked away, incomplete, and almost intercepted around the midfield stripe. Intended for Ricky Bates. It was thrown a little bit too high for him. Jackie Williams was playing behind him, jumped into the air, almost had the ball, knocked it away. Pat Thomas was there defending also for the Aggies. So it goes incomplete. So bring it back to the 32-yard line. So the Texas Tech Red Raiders finding that they're having to throw a little bit more tonight than they normally have in the 1975 season against this tough Texas Aggie defense. The Aggies gave up only 54 yards to the Red Raiders on the ground in the first half of the ball game, but they gave up 85 yards through the air. So the Red Raiders come to the line of scrimmage. 2nd down and 10 at the Texas Tech 32-yard line. Split end left is Sammy Williams. Flank it wide to the right side is Ricky Bates. Some of the guys get a little bit anxious, jump into the neutral zone before the ball is snapped. Flags fly all over the place, and the play is stopped, and the officials move in over the football, and let's see. Here's penalty distance being stepped off against Texas Tech. Illegal procedure against the Red Raiders. Moves the back inside the 30, the 27-yard line, and it'll be 2nd down and about 14 from that spot. Check that, 2nd down and 15. It was 2nd down and 10, now it's 2nd and 15. The ball at the 27-yard line, hash mark on the far side of the field. Dan Irons in its strong tackle, 6'6", 240-pound sophomore from Lubbock, Monterey. Red Raiders to the line of scrimmage. Here's Donovan, straight back to pass. Screens it out to the left, and it's complete to Larry Isaac. Up the far sideline to the 30 to 35. Still on his feet, and he's finally knocked down at the 35-yard line. Larry Isaac battling for yardage that time, and he was wrestled down by Jackie Williams. And a flag flies where that play was terminated up around the 35-yard line. Isaac took that screen pass off behind the line of scrimmage, off to Donovan's left, and raced behind, blocking down the far sideline, across the line of scrimmage out to the 35-yard line, and here's penalty distance signaled against the Texas Tech Red Raiders, and evidently against Texas A&M too, offsetting penalties against the Raiders and the Aggies. So the play is allowed to stand up around the 36-yard line. That's where the forward progress is allowed. 37 that knows that football touching the 37-yard line. So a gain in the play of about 9. It'll be 2nd down coming and 6 needed. Texas Tech comes to the line of scrimmage, the Red Raider 37-yard line. Ball hash mark on the far side of the field. Split in left, flank it back to the right. Here's Donovan straight back to pass. In the pocket, throws over the middle. Complete to the 40-yard line. Pass to the ball. It's the 45, the 50, the 45, goes to the 40-yard line. And Aggie territory, Mary touchdown. Pat Felix, 6'2", 225-pound senior from San Antonio McCullough High School on a 24-yard pass and run play, and he ran like a halfback after he made the grab up around the 45-yard line in Red Raider territory. He moved to the 39 in Aggie territory before Jackie Williams caught up with him. The Texas Tech has the first down at the Texas A&M 39-yard line. The Red Raiders to the line of scrimmage. Split end of the left side, flank it wide to the right. 5-2 defense for Texas A&M. The quarterback is Tommy Donovan. Here's Donovan on the turnaround, and he hands the ball off to Jimmy Williams, boring into the right side of his own line, and Williams is to about the 37 before he's knocked down. It was Edgar Fields in to make the tackle on him. It's time for a station break. Your hosts this evening are Exxon Company USA and your neighborhood Exxon retailer. We pause briefly for station identification.
KKYX San Antonio.
The ball at the Texas A&M 38-yard line, 2nd down and 9 for Texas Tech. Red Raiders to the line of scrimmage. 7 men on the line of scrimmage for Texas A&M defensively. Split end to the left side, flank it wide to the right. Donovan on a long count on the option left, keeps the ball himself, gets to the 35-yard line, and he's hit hard there by Garth Tenable, the right side linebacker for the Aggies. Tenable, the leading tackler for Texas A&M coming into the ball game, credited with 52 tackles in the 1972-75 season thus far, and 30 of those were unassisted. The ball at the 35-yard line in Aggie territory, Texas Tech in possession. It'll be 3rd down coming and 6 yards needed now for the Red Raiders. 11 minutes and 45 seconds left to go in the 3rd period. 10-9 the score, Texas A&M on top. Red Raiders to the line of scrimmage. 3rd down and long. Here's a big play in this drive for Texas Tech and A&M. Back to pass. Donovan throws, and it is complete at the 20-yard line. Ricky Bates found found himself all alone near the 20-yard line on the near sideline. A 15-yard pass play from Tommy Donovan to Ricky Bates. Pat Thomas hit Bates immediately and knocked him down at the 20, but it's a Texas Tech first down at the Texas A&M 20-yard line. Ricky Bates has got 2 for a 13-yard average coming into the ball game, but he's grabbed a couple of threes. The Red Raiders have really gone to the passing attack in the ball game tonight to try and move the ball against A&M. Here's the handoff down the middle to Larry Isaac, and the big tailback moves inside the 20, gets to about the 18, maybe the 17-yard line before he's wrestled down. 11 minutes left to go in the third period. 10-9, Texas A&M on top. Tank Marshall in defensively to make the stop inside the 20 at the 17-yard line. Grady Wilkerson also gets up off the pile. Wilkerson played in high school at Odessa Premium with Aggie quarterback David Shipman. In fact, they've been playing together since junior high school. A couple of yards gain on that play. It'll be 2nd down and 8 from the 17-yard line for the Texas Tech Red Raiders in Aggie territory. Here's the option, and the pitch back goes to Jimmy Williams running to the right, and he goes nowhere. The Texas Aggie defense rises to the occasion, led by Garth Napel. Napel in on the tackle on the near side of the field. He may have gotten the ball carried behind the line of scrimmage. He did at the 18-yard line. A little bit lost on that play, back to the 18. Certainly 2nd down coming and 8 yards needed now for Texas Tech at the end of the 18-yard line. Grady Wilkerson goes out of the ball game, and Robert Jackson comes in to replace him. Jackson, the junior from Houston, Smiley, 6'3" and 230. Here is 3rd down and 8 facing Texas Tech at the 18-yard line. A big play. Donald Roberts and Ricky Bates, 2 wide receivers in the ball game now, along with Sammy Williams, 3 wide receivers in the ball game. Here is Denneman back to pass. Goes long for the end zone, but it is intercepted. Intercepted by Jackie Williams of Texas A&M near the goal line. Let's see if he was in the end zone for the automatic touchback or whether it'll be 1st and 10 at the 1-yard line. It'll evidently be at the 1-yard line. Jackie Williams making the interception. The pass was intended in the end zone that time for Sammy Williams, the split end, but the pass was a little bit short. Williams was behind the defender that time. Had the pass been a little bit longer, he might have been able to get to it. But in this case, Jackie Williams was in the right place at the right time, made the interception at the 1-yard line. Actually, that ball is inside the 1-yard line at about the half-yard line. He fell not in the end zone, but on the field of play at the half-yard line. The first interception of the ball game, and the Texas Aggies come up with it to stop a Texas Tech drive. But the Aggies are back up deep in their own end of the field to the half-yard line. Here's David Shipman bowing under. The handoff goes to the fullback, Bucky Sams, into the left side of his own line, and he's out around the 4-5-yard line. Curtis Jordan out of the secondary, making the tackle on him. Sams was actually hit up around the line of scrimmage, and he came stumbling out of there and finally went down at the 5-yard line. 2 tight ends in the ball game now, Richard Osborne and David Greeno. Greeno, a senior from Albuquerque, New Mexico, 6 foot, 200 pounds, along with Richard Osborne at tight end, 6'5", 230, a senior from San Antonio, Lee. So the Aggies come to the line of scrimmage at the 5-yard line. A gain of about 4 on that play. It'll be 2nd down and 6. Wishbone T, 2 tight ends in the ball game. The handoff goes to Bucky Sams into the left side of his own line. He clears the 5, gets to the 6-yard line, maybe the 6.5. E-Comet Burley, Jim Kroll, and Harold Buell in to make the stop with Texas Tech outside the 5 near the 6-yard line. So the Texas Tech defense giving up yardage grudgingly deep in Aggie territory, and Texas A&M wanting to get out, make that first down to give them some running room. They had the ball at their own 6-yard line. Gary Hack comes in at tight end now, and David Greeno goes to the sideline. Here's 3rd down and 4. Here's a big play in this drive now for the Aggies deep in their own territory. If they don't make it, Mark Stanley will have to punt from deep in his own end zone. Here's David Shipman faking, keeping, pitching, pitches it to Bubba Bean up the far sideline. He has the first down to the 10, the 15, the 25, the 30, the 35, he gets away from the 40, the 50, the 40, the 35, the 30, the 25, the 20, the 10. He's in for the touchdown. Bubba Bean on a super 93-yard run, taking the pitch back on the option from his quarterback David Shipman, circling wide around his own right end. He was in heavy traffic back around his own 20-yard line, but he just kept going down that far sideline. At about the 50-yard line, he broke into the clear, and nobody could catch him as he raced in the end zone, standing up for an Aggie touchdown, going 93 yards. 8 minutes and 19 seconds left to go in the third period. 16-9 the score with a point after try yet to come. And Tony Franklin will be trying to kick it. David Shipman will hold. The ball is down. The kick is up in the air. It is high enough. It's long enough. And it's good. And it's a 17-9 ball game. The Texas Aggies leading the Texas Tech Red Raiders. And where just a moment ago we had a 10-9 ball game, a real tight situation. Then all at once, 93 yards later, Bubba Bean goes into the end zone. And Dave, that was lightning at its best.
And as Bubba Bean raced those 93 yards, Jack, he set a new record for rushing at Texas A&M. He needed only 126 yards coming into tonight's game to set a new Aggie record currently held by Bob Smith, who gained 2,415 yards in 1949 to 1951 at Texas A&M. Bubba needed a total of 126 yards tonight, and he's well over that now with that 93-yard scamper.
Well, these two kicker offers tonight. David Millard and Tony Franklin have been kicking it off the field of play just about every time. And that time, Franklin really kicked that one all the way off the field of play. And Texas Tech will have the ball 1st and 10 at the Red Raiders 20-yard line. Well, this Texas Aggie football team came into the ball game tonight with a great reputation defensively, leading the nation in total defense, leading the nation in rushing defense. But they've shown some explosiveness on offense in this ball game tonight. 47 yards for Bubba Bean in the first half of the ball game for a touchdown. And now here in the third period, he goes 93 yards for a TD. Here's the handoff to the second man by, and that's the tailback Jimmy Williams into the center of the line, across the 20, 21, maybe the 22-yard line. Tank Marshall in to make the tackle. And now that Texas Aggie defense is really fired up after the offense gives them some breathing room with a 17-9 score now. Texas A&M on top. Rodney Allison is the quarterback. Larry Isaac, Jimmy Williams, and Ricky Bates in the offensive backfield. Pat Felix and Sammy Williams the ends. Dan Irons and Greg Davis the tackles. Mike Sears and Tommy Luss the guards. And David Dudley at center as they come up the line of scrimmage at 22-yard line. 2nd down and 8. Red Raider territory. Flanker left, split into the right side. Here's Allison handing the ball off the dive play to Jimmy Williams in the left side of his own line. And he drags tacklers with him out around the 24 before he's knocked down by Edgar Fields and Tank Marshall. Jimmy Dean also in the play, just short of the 25, near the 24-yard line. Couple of yards gained on the play. It'll be 3rd down coming, and about 6 needed for Texas Tech. Tank Marshall, Edgar Fields, Jimmy Dean, and Blake Schwartz defending up front for the Texas Aggies. Garth Napel, Robert Jackson, and Ed Simonini, the linebackers. Jackie Williams, Pat Thomas, Lester Hayes, and Willie Thompson in the defensive secondary. So the Red Raiders to the line of scrimmage. 3rd down and 6 at the 24-yard line. Rodney Allison with a big 3rd down play facing him here, and he goes straight back to pass. In the pocket, throws downfield high and over the head of the intended receiver. There's a flag down. A flag down. Let's see the meaning of the marker. It may be pass interference. Flag was thrown around the 32-yard line. Pass interference is signaled against Texas A&M. It'll be 1st down for Texas Tech. The 32-yard line in Red Raider territory. So the Texas Tech Red Raiders come up with a 1st down and a pass interference penalty at the Red Raider 32. Allison threw that ball high and over the head of the intended receiver on the near sideline. He was intending at that time for Ricky Bates, the flanker back. So the Red Raiders with the ball at their own 32-yard line. 1st and 10. Billy Taylor is in, replacing Jimmy Williams now at the fullback slot. Larry Isaac is the tailback. Flanker left, split end to the right side. Rodney Allison at quarterback. 5-2 defense for the Texas Aggies up front. Actually about a 4-3 with the linebackers on the outside. Here's the fake by Allison. He keeps the ball himself across the 35, gets to the 40, the 41-yard line, and he may have a 1st down. There's a flag down, however, back around the line of scrimmage. See what the flag means. Edgar Fields in on the tackle for Texas A&M. Forward progress allowed out to about the 41, near the 42-yard line, close to a 1st down. See the meaning of that flag. Offside signal against Texas Tech. It's going to wipe out that play. So that'll set the Red Raiders back 5 yards behind the original line of scrimmage, the 32-yard line, and sets it back to the 27, where it'll be 1st down and 15. So they almost picked up a 1st down on that drive with Rodney Allison carrying the ball. Well, that 93-yard run by Bubba Bean just a moment ago set a record for Texas A&M. The longest prior to that touchdown run from scrimmage was 81 yards, set by Bob Smith against Texas Tech back in 1949. And Bubba Bean sets a new record against Texas Tech for the Texas Aggies here in the ball game tonight. 93 yards, touchdown run from scrimmage. Back to pass, Allison ducks out of the pocket, comes to the near sideline. He's caught and dragged down at the 24-yard line. Rodney Allison couldn't find anybody open, and he had to run out of the pocket, and he was dragged down by Edgar Fields. The junior defensive tackle, Garth Napel, also in the play for Texas A&M. The 24-yard line is where the ball carrier, Rodney Allison, was spotted down. A couple of yards lost in the play. Now Tommy Donovan comes into the game. 2nd down and about 18 yards needed for the 1st down. The line of scrimmage, the 24-yard line. Ball near the hash mark on the near side of the field. Three wide receivers in the ball game now for Texas Tech. And here's Donovan going straight back to pass. And he screens it over the middle. And it's complete after the 25. Going to the 30, run out of bounds on the near side of the field. Short of the first down is the ball carrier, Larry Isaac, the tailback. He was knocked down by Ed Simonini in the near side of the field, but it is short of the first down. It'll be third down coming and about 8 yards needed for the first down. Hank Marshall, Edgar Fields, Jimmy Dean, and Blake Schwartz all sifting through there that time, but the Red Raider offensive line was letting them come through as Donovan was backpedaling very fast and then screened that ball to his tailback, Larry Isaac. Gained about 10 yards in the play. It'll be third down coming and 8 yards needed. Here's Donovan back to pass. In the pocket. Good protection. Throws over the middle. High and over the head of the intended receiver, Pat Felix, around the 45-yard line. Lester Hayes defending back there for the Texas Aggies, and the Red Raiders are going to have to give the ball up. That was the third down play. It'll be fourth down and 8 now for Texas Tech. And the Texas Aggie fans across the way, some 8,500, giving that Texas Aggie defense a standing ovation as they go off the field to the far sideline. The Texas Tech with the line of scrimmage, the 34-yard line, having to punt it away. 5 minutes and 49 seconds left to go in the third period of play. It's 17-9. Texas A&M leading Texas Tech. David Kirkendall back in deep punt formation around his own 20-yard line. And Carl Roaches stands back in single safety. Fair catch is called for and made by David Greeno up around the 37-yard line. 37-yard line is going to be the line of scrimmage. David Greeno making the fair catch call for the Texas Aggies. 28-yard kick by Kirkendall, but he really had pressure put on him by the Texas Aggies that time. And you might have heard the reaction of the crowd in the background. The partisan Texas Tech followers thought that maybe roughing the kicker should have been called against the Texas Aggie that came bouncing in on Kirkendall, but that rusher for the Texas Aggies evidently got a little bit of a piece of that ball with his hand, and when he does that, then he can crash into that kicker. Here's a long pass downfield, and it is complete on the far sideline to Kyle Roaches. He's at the 35-yard line in Texas Tech territory. David Shipman hitting Carl Roaches' split end on the far sideline. He was knocked down by Mike Barnes, the left side cornerback. Barnes making the tackle at the 35-yard line in Red Raider territory. So both of these ball clubs going to the air in this ball game tonight. 5 minutes and 26 seconds left to go in the third period. A 28-yard pass and run play from David Shipman to Carl Roaches. Roaches is out of the ball game and Mike Floyd is in. Floyd is split to the right side, the short side of the field for the Texas Aggies. Here's Shipman bowing under. Takes the ball, gives to the second man by Skip Walker to the left side of his own line. He's inside the 30, gets to the 29-yard line. And there he's racked up by Harold Buell, the junior linebacker from Houston Spring Branch. Inside the 30 at the 29-yard line. A gain on the play of 6. It'll be second down and 4 for Texas A&M. Mike Floyd goes out of the ball game, and Carl Roaches comes back in at split end, and they keep alternating at that split end position. Defensively, Texas Tech with Wesley Smith, Bill Bothwell, E. Comet Burley, Jim Kroll, and John Klinger up front. Thomas Howard and Harold Buell, the linebackers. Tony Green, Alan Emerson, Curtis Jordan, and Eric Felton in the defensive secondary. Here's second down and 4 from the 29-yard line in Texas Tech territory. And the handoff goes to Skip Walker on the left side of his own line on the halfback lead play. And he gets to the line of scrimmage and maybe a yard more to about the 28-yard line. But no, they say he stopped to the 29. That was the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be third down and 4 now for Texas A&M. Defensively for the Red Raiders, Jim Kroll and Alan Emerson doing the job for Texas Tech to stop the ball carrier with no gain. 4 minutes and 6 seconds left to go in the third period. Gary Hack is in at tight end. 2 tight ends in the ball game now on third down and short. Third down at about 4 from the 29-yard line in Texas Tech territory. Here is Shipman faking, keeping, running right. He pitches it back, and it's Hartman carrying the ball around his own right end, and he's running out of bounds to the far side of the field. And he appears to have a Texas A&M first down at about the 25, maybe the 24-yard line in Red Raider territory. Jim Hartman, the senior from Luling, Louisiana, taking the pitch back at the last moment as David Shipman really ran the option to perfection that time. He pitched it back at the last minute. John Klinger and Curtis Jordan making the tackle on the far sideline, the 24-yard line, inside the 24. We'll call it the 23. Closer to the 23 than the 24. First and 10 for Texas A&M, and the Aggies have really been moving on this drive. Up to the line of scrimmage they come. Over the ball at center is Harry Tracy. Shipman, Bean, Sams, and Walker in the offensive backfield. Still 2 tight ends in the ball game for the Texas Aggies. Here's the fake by Shipman. Running left. He's in the open to the 20, to the 15. He's to the 10 and run out of bounds around the 10-yard line. David Shipman, the quarterback from Modesto Permian, 6'1", 210-pound junior, racing around his own left end, and the keeper play off the option. And he was finally run out of bounds by E. Comet Burley in the nose guard, and also Tony Green out of the secondary around the 10-yard line. It's now Arkansas 28, Baylor 3 in the third quarter. Our score, Texas A&M 17 and Texas Tech 9, with the Texas Aggies threatening at the 9-yard line. First down and goal to go. The ball at the hash mark on the near side of the field. David Greeno and a tight end, and Gary Hack has gone out, and the Aggies have gone to a 2 tight end offense with a wishbone tee. Just pure power football. Here's David Shipman bowing under. Runs right on the option. Hands it off to the fullback. Into the right side of his own line, it's Bucky Sams carrying, and he's to the 7-yard line. Bill Bothwell in to make the tackle. John Klinger also in the play. That was Ronnie Huddy, the senior from Clovis, New Mexico, running in the fullback slot and getting a couple of yards to the 7-yard line. It's second down and goal to go from the Texas Tech 7. Texas A&M deep in Red Raider territory, knocking on the touchdown door, leading by a score of 17-9 with 3 minutes and 17 seconds left to go in the third period. Hubby goes out of the ball game, and Sams comes in at fullback now. 2 tight ends in the ball game for the Texas Aggies. Up to the line of scrimmage they come. Shipman bows under and barks the signals. Wishbone tee in the backfield. Fakes to the fullback, keeps it himself, runs right. He's to the 5, dives for the 4-yard line, and may have gotten there as 1, 2, 3 Texas Tech Red Raiders hit him, led by Mike Mock, the sophomore from Longview. And also in on the play was Tony Green, the senior from Seguin, 6'2", 185, was credited with 5 tackles behind the line of scrimmage in the Oklahoma State game last week. The ball at the 5-yard line. That's where they mark the ball carrier down. David Shipman, he gets a couple of yards on the play at the 5-yard line, and now there's going to be a timeout on the field. So there's a called timeout on the field with the score, Texas A&M 17, Texas Tech 9, and here's Dave.
And the Aggies are knocking at the door of Texas Tech. The ball on the 5-yard line, and here's Jack.
Third down and goal to go from the 5. David Shipman bows under, barks the signals, comes to his left. He pitches it back to Skip Walker, running wide to the left, makes his cut, gets to the 5, spins inside to the 1-yard line and run out of bounds at about the 1-yard line. No, he's in for the touchdown. Skip Walker went spinning down the near sideline. The Texas Tech players questioning that just a little bit as the officials on a delayed reaction as one official talked to the other one, and that official said, yes, he was in the end zone for the touchdown, and the 2 hands went up signaling Texas A&M TD. So it's a 23-9 ball game with Texas A&M on top with 2 minutes and 27 seconds left to go in the third period. Is Tony Franklin to try to make a 7 out of a 6. David Shipman will hold at the 10-yard line. The ball is down. Tony Franklin's kick is up in the air. It's high enough and long enough, and it is good. Shipman had come into the ball game 10 of 13 in the point after department prior to tonight's ball game. 2:27 left in the third period. The Texas Aggies on top, 24-9 now over the Texas Tech Red Raiders. And Dave, I tell you, after the Aggies hit that long pass play from Shipman to Roaches, they just went the pure power football and crunched out the yardage.
63 yards, Jack. The Aggies went on 9 plays for that touchdown. Walker going from the 5 for the 6 points. The point after effort was good with 2 minutes and 27 seconds left to play. The Aggies now lead in the ball game 24-9.
Well, Tony Franklin keeps his string alive as he kicks from south to north here at Jones Stadium tonight with that 12 to 15 mile per hour wind out of the south. He's been kicking it off the field of play, as has David Malott for Texas Tech. Franklin told that one all the way off the field of play, and Texas Tech will have the ball first and 10 at the Red Raider 20-yard line. And Rodney Allison comes in at quarterback, the sophomore from Odessa. He'll be engineering the Red Raider attack as he brings them to the line of scrimmage. He has a split end to the right side, a flank up wide to the left. Ricky Bates wide to the left side. The split end is Sammy Williams wide to the right. Allison bows under and barks the signals. 5-2 defense up front for Texas A&M. Here's Allison faking, keeping, pitching. Larry Isaac with the ball right around his own right end. He's to the 25, the 30, around his own left end to the 35-yard line, and he has a Texas Tech first down. A 15-yard scamper. Jackie Williams out of the secondary, making the tackle for Texas A&M on the far sideline. Texas Tech moving from north to south, from our left to our right here in the third period. First and 10 for the Red Raiders at their own 35-yard line. 2 minutes and 15 seconds left to go in the third period. 24-9 the score. Texas A&M on top of Texas Tech. Red Raiders to the line of scrimmage. Allison, Isaac, Williams, and Roberts in the offensive backfield. Roberts is the flanker back wide to the right side this time for Texas Tech. Split end to the left side is Sammy Williams. Here's the handoff going to Larry Isaac in the left side of his own line. A flag is down, and Isaac is out around his own 39-yard line. About a 4-yard gain on the play before he's pulled down. In to make the tackle was Robert Jackson, the middle linebacker. Also Edgar Fields and Jackie Williams out of the secondary. Let's see the meaning of that flag now. Texas Tech moving back as if anticipating a penalty against them. And that's going to be the case as the referee, McDuff Simpson, steps off yardage against the Red Raiders. Moves the ball back to the 20-yard line. And will set up first down and 25 from that point. Illegal use of the hands against Texas Tech. Costs them 15 yards. Moves it back to the 20 where it'll be first down and 25. Red Raiders with Sammy Williams and Sylvester Brown at ends now. Dan Irons and Greg Davis at tackles. Mike Sears and Tommy Lusk at guards. And Terry Anderson is the offensive center. So the Red Raiders come to the line of scrimmage. First and 25 at their own 20-yard line. Up the middle with the ball, Jimmy Williams hits a stone ball, gets maybe to the 25, 21-yard line, and that's all. Robert Jackson, the junior from Houston Smiley at the middle linebacker spot, along with the two tackles, Edgar Fields and Jimmy Dean making the stop. 21-yard line, a gain of 1 on the play. It'll be second down coming and 24 needed. Defensively, the Aggies have Tank Marshall, Edgar Fields, Jimmy Dean, and Blake Schwartz. Linebackers, Ed Simonini, Robert Jackson, and Garth Tenable. Pat Thomas, Jackie Williams, Lester Hayes, and Willie Thompson in the defensive secondary. Red Raiders to the line of scrimmage. Second down and 24 at their own 21-yard line. Here is Allison back to pass. Being chased now. Screens it out to the right. Complete to Jimmy Williams. He's across the 20. Gets away to the 25, and he's out around the 28-yard line. Jimmy Williams with the football. Fumbled! And Texas A&M recovers. They unstacked the players out at the 28-yard line. And when they got to the bottom, they found that either Garth Tenable or Ed Simonini had claimed the football for the Texas Aggies. And the Aggies have it in Red Raider territory at the 28-yard line. And that's where they take over. Aggies to the line of scrimmage. Still two tight ends in the ball game. Wishbone T in the backfield. Power football for Texas A&M. Shipman faking, running, keeping. He's to the 25 and inside, maybe to the 24-yard line. Knocked down there by Eric Felton, the left side cornerback. 5'11" sophomore from Lubbock High School. Led 3 years in basketball, 2 in football and track at Lubbock High School. An all-around athlete playing in left corner for Texas Tech. Brought down the ball carrier, David Shipman, to the 24-yard line. After about a 4-yard gain in the play, it'll be second down and 6 now. David Greeno and Richard Osborne and the two tight ends, and Coach Emory Bellard has just gone to pure power football. Conservative football offensively now for the Texas Aggies. They hit on one long pass play on the last touchdown drive, and then they crunched it out. Here is Shipman faking, keeping, being caught back in his own backfield and wrestled down at the 29-yard line. Shipman couldn't get away from Mark Rose playing at a defensive end position for the Texas Tech Red Raiders, and he was pulled down back at the 28-yard line, and that's the end of the third quarter with a score, Texas A&M 24 and Texas Tech 9. Aggies come to the line of scrimmage. They break the wishbone this time. In fact, they go to a slant eye to the right side. David Shipman, the quarterback. He fakes. Here's the reverse. Running the ball to Skip Walker. Running the left. He's to the 25. Gets down to about the 21-yard line. And inside reverse with the wingback. Skip Walker was set in the slot to the right side, carrying the ball to his left toward the far sideline. He was caught by Allen Emerson and Curtis Jordan. Short of the 20, about the 21-yard line, where it'll be fourth down coming and about 3 yards needed for the first. It'll be fourth down and 3. The line of scrimmage, the 21-yard line. The Aggies are going to go for it. They still have two tight ends in the ball game, Richard Osmond and Gary Hack. David Shipman stays on the field to play. Tony Franklin stays on the sideline. They're going to go for it. Fourth down to about 3 at the 21-yard line in Red Raider territory, leading by a score of 24-9. And quarterback David Shipman comes up to the line of scrimmage and then calls a timeout. He wants to go over to the sidelines to talk to his coach, Emory Bellard, and to find out just exactly what to do on this ticklish situation of fourth down at about 3, and the ball at the 21-yard line in Texas Tech territory. 14 minutes and 15 seconds left to go in the ball game. 6-2 defense, almost a 7-8 man line for Texas Tech up front, and diving to the right side of his own line is Bubba Bean, and he's going to be close. Bubba Bean in the right side of his own line. He may not have made it, Bubba Bean, the 200-pound senior from Kirbyville, who had just moved in as the #1 all-time rusher for Texas A&M, bouncing into the right side of his own line, but I don't believe he made it. They may bring the chain in from the far sideline. Harold Buell was the lad who really threw up the roadblock for Texas Tech to stop him. But did Bubba Bean manage to stretch far enough? He did not. Texas Tech will take over. The line of scrimmage is going to be the 19-yard line, and that's where the Red Raiders will take over. Well, Texas A&M gambling a bit, leading the ball game 24-9. Just seconds into the fourth and final period of the ball game, going for it on a 4th down and 3 situation, and Bubba Bean didn't miss it by much. Missed it by less than a yard, and the Red Raiders will take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. Up to the line of scrimmage they come. Rodney Allison is the quarterback. Has the flanker to the right side, a split end wide to the left toward the wide side of the field. Allison goes straight back to pass. Throws off into the left flat, and it's too far in front of the intended receiver, Cliff Hoskins, the tailback, who had broken out of the backfield and come out on a square-out pattern to the near sideline. Garth Napel, linebacker, had dropped off the covering. So it'll be 2nd down and 10 now for Texas Tech at the Red Raider 19-yard line. Some new faces in the ball game for the Red Raiders offensively. Greg Atkins is in a quick tackle. Kenny Teal is in a quick guard. Kerry Anderson is the center. Allison, the quarterback, Cliff Hoskins, the tailback, Billy Taylor, the fullback, and the flanker back is Donald Roberts. Greg Wessels and Wilbert Cunningham also in the offensive line. Put in right, flanker back, wide to the left side. 4-2 defense now by Texas A&M. Here's Allison carrying left on the keeper. He breaks away to the 20, gets to the 25-yard line, and knocked down at his own 25. He gained about 6 on the play. It'll be 3rd down and 4 now for Texas Tech, operating at the Red Raider 25-yard line. In to make the tackle was Jackie Williams, and Lester Hayes coming in from his safety position. And it's a 25-yard line, Red Raider territory. 3rd down coming, and 4 yards needed for Texas Tech. Sammy Williams and Pat Felix are still the ends. Donald Roberts, the flanker back, played quarterback last year. The junior from Seminole, 6 foot, 195 pounds. Switched to a wide receiver in spring training and then got hurt. Didn't get to work out much. Here's Allison back to pass. He's being chased. He's going to run. He is knocked down behind the line of scrimmage at about the 23-yard line. Blake Schwartz was through there to make the tackle, and the Texas Aggies really had the pressure on that time as Allison went back to pass. It looked like he might have been letting them through that time to throw a screen pass over the middle, but if he was, the Aggies had that one figured out, and they had everybody covered. Allison had to run with the ball, got out to the 22-yard line, and that's all. A couple of yards short of the line of scrimmage. It'll be 4th down coming, and about 7 needed for the 1st down. 4th and 7 for Texas Tech. The line of scrimmage, the 22-yard line. Carl Roaches and David Greeno go back deep. Roaches is deepest around his own 37-yard line. David Kirkendall back in deep punt formation, standing inside the 10. Waiting for the snap from center. High snap. He has to jump for it. Can he get it away? He's being chased. He's being run down inside the 5 of the 3-yard line. Snap from center. David Kirkendall had to jump for the ball. Then he couldn't get it away as the Aggies were putting the pressure on. He ran toward the far sideline, and Mike Williams, a sophomore from Houston Forest Brook, caught up with him and pulled him down inside the 5. And around the 3-yard line, and Texas A&M will have the ball deep in Texas Tech territory. Actually, they mark Kirkendall down at the 4-yard line, so it'll be 1st down and goal to go for Texas A&M from the 4. 12 minutes and 27 seconds left to go in the 4th and final period. And the Texas Aggies with a big break in the ball game. A high snap, and Kirkendall couldn't get the punt away. Tried to run with it, and he was pulled down by Mike Williams at the 4-yard line. Shipman brings him to the line of scrimmage. 2 tight ends in the ball game. Wishbone in the backfield. Texas second to goal line defense. Shipman carries. He's to the 3, the 2, maybe the 1-yard line. As he's hit by 1, 2, 3 Texas Tech Red Raiders. Mike Bach is in there, along with Thomas Howard and Eric Felton. Let's see where they mark Shipman down. It's going to be near the 1-yard line. We'll be 2nd down and goal to go for Texas A&M. The ball midway between the sideline stripes. 12 minutes and 7 seconds left to go in the game. 24-9. Texas A&M on top. David Greeno and Gary Hack alternating at the tight end position, bringing in plays from the far sideline from Coach Emory Bellard. 2 tight ends in the ball game. In fact, the Texas Aggies have gone with 2 tight ends for the last couple of 3 series. They're on the goal line now. 2nd down and goal to go from the 1, and bouncing in is Bucky Sands for the Aggie touchdown. Bucky Sands, they didn't even expect him to play in the ball game tonight. The 6-foot senior from Amarillo, Tascosa, had been injured all week, or had a medical problem at least, and did not work out until about Thursday. But he's been playing, and playing super for the Texas Aggies in the ball game tonight. Here's the point after try, 30-9, Texas A&M on top. David Shipman will hold. Tony Franklin will try the extra point. The ball is down. The kick is up in the air. And it is good. And the freshman barefoot kicker bounces that one off the athletic office windows at the south end of the stadium here in Lubbock with 11 minutes and 45 seconds left to go in the fourth and final period. 31-9, the Texas Aggies on top of the Texas Tech Red Raiders. Well, quite a break for the Aggies there, Dave.
Arkansas in the third quarter, 35-3 over Baylor at Waco. Jack?
Here's Billy Taylor coming out of the end zone to the 5, the 10, the 15, the 20, the 25. Almost breaks away, but he's tripped up at the 26-yard line. And somebody got him by a shoestring and pulled him down. It was Reggie Williams from Seguin, 6'3 junior. Just got him around the ankles and tripped him up at the 25, and Billy Taylor fell out to the 26-yard line, and there the Red Raiders will have the ball first and 10 at the hash mark on the near side of the field. Well, the Texas Aggies, ranked number 6 in the nation, coming into the ball game tonight, leading by a score of 31-9 over the Texas Tech Red Raiders. Here's a flanker wide to the right, a split end to the left side. 4-3 defense for the Aggies up front. Back to pass is Tommy Donovan in the pocket, and he is being pressured, throws short over the middle, intending out around the 40-yard line to Pat Felix, the tight end. Blake Schwartz was really putting pressure on from his defensive end position, and Tommy Donovan just barely got that one away. In fact, Schwartz might have been hanging on to him when he threw the ball. So bring it out to the 26, and it'll be second down and 10 from that point for Texas Tech. Red Raiders with Donovan at quarterback, Larry Isaac at tailback, Jimmy Williams at fullback. The flanker is Ricky Bates. The tight end is Pat Felix. And the split end is Sammy Williams. Williams is split to the left side. Flank wide to the right is Ricky Bates, the wide side of the field. 5-2 defense for the Texas Aggies. Here's Donovan in the option play, and he hands the ball off to Larry Isaac, and he goes nowhere. He is bear hugged down by 1, 2, 3 Texas Aggies after about a 1-yard gain to the 27-yard line. Jimmy Dean and Edgar Fields and Ed Simonini, all three of them wrapped around the ball carrier, Larry Isaac. They bring him down to the 27-yard line. And the Red Raiders have not been given much offensively here in the second half by this Texas Aggie defense. The ball just short of the 27, about a yard gain in the play. Not quite. It'll be third down and a long 9 needed. Flank it wide to the right, split end to the left side. Donovan straight back to pass. Drop back pattern over the middle. Complete across the 40-yard line. Pat Felix is right up in the 50. He's running to the 45. Gets to the 40-yard line. He stepped on there and rolled down inside the 40. The flag flies. At about the 38-yard line, Jackie Williams caught up with him, and the Red Raiders have been able to hit on some big pass plays in the ball game tonight. This is about the second time tonight that Pat Felix has been on the receiving end. There's a flag down near where that play was terminated in Texas Aggie territory around the 38-yard line. A 35-yard pass and run play from Tommy Donovan to Pat Felix, but it may go for naught, at least part of it, as a clipping penalty is signaled against Texas Tech, and stepped off from the spot of the foul, is going to move the ball back across in the Red Raider territory to the 48-yard line, where it'll be first and 10 for Texas Tech. So where the play would have carried to inside the 35 in Aggie territory, the clipping penalty moves the ball back 15 yards from the spot of the foul to the 48-yard line in Texas Tech territory. Jackie Williams made the play defensively for the Aggies that time on Pat Felix. So the Red Raiders come to the line of scrimmage. 48-yard line, Red Raider territory, first and 10. Split end right, flank it wide to the left side. Also the left end is flexed a little bit to the left side. Here is Tommy Donovan handing the ball off, breaking off left tackle with Billy Taylor. He's to the 45, gets to the 40, almost to the 35 in Aggie territory before he's knocked down by Garth Tenable. Tenable and Pat Thomas in to make the tackle for the Aggies, and Texas Tech has a first down. Maybe a flag at the end of this play also. Inside the 40 and around the 37-yard line. We don't see a marker down, but conference going on with the Texas Aggies. Red Raiders moving back as if anticipating a penalty against them. McDuff Simpson picks up the football. He steps off yardage against Texas Tech, and of course that's an unpopular decision here at Jones Stadium in Lubbock. You hear the crowd reaction. Non-contact foul signaled against Texas Tech. Moves the ball back to the 50-yard line, just into Red Raider territory, across the 50, about the 49.5, where it'll be first down from that point. And let's see, 10, 20, about 24 yards needed for the first down. Up to the line of scrimmage come the Red Raiders near the midfield stripe. 10 minutes and 4 seconds left to go in the ball game. Texas A&M leading 31-9. Split end right, flank to the left. The left end is also flexed out to the left side. That's Sylvester Brown, the tight end. Tommy Donovan, the quarterback. Here's Donovan faking, throwing over the middle. It's complete to the 40-yard line in Aggie territory. Let's see who made that grab. Lester Hayes in to make the tackle. Sylvester Brown, the tight end, made the reception, and he was pulled down to the 40-yard line. Gain on a play of about 10. It'll be second down coming and about 14 needed. About 13 needed action. 5-2 defense for Texas A&M. Donovan goes straight back to pass, throws to the far sideline, and it is incomplete. Intended for Stanley Williams, the split end. He was being defended by Pat Thomas, the All-American quarterback for Texas A&M. And neither lad could come up with a football as Thomas hit Williams just about the time the ball hit Williams' hands. So it goes incomplete, bring it back to the 40-yard line, and it'll be third down and 13 from that point for Texas Tech. Ball dash mark on the far side of the field. Pat Felix goes out of the ball game, and Sylvester Brown comes in to replace him at tight end. Brown, a junior from San Antonio Roosevelt, 6'1", 215-pounder. So the Red Raiders to the line of scrimmage. Third down and 13 from the Texas A&M 40-yard line. Here's Donovan straight back to pass. Looks over the middle, throws long downfield, and it is incomplete. And Donovan really had a hand in his face as he threw that ball that time. He was being pressured. Pass was intended for Donald Roberts down around the 5-yard line. Ed Simonini was blitzing through there. He hit Donovan about the time Donovan threw the ball, and the pass was way off mark down around the 5-yard line. So it'll be fourth down coming for Texas Tech, needing 13 at the Aggie 40-yard line. 9 minutes left to go in the ball game. 31-9. Texas A&M on top, and now referee Macduff Simpson moves in. Texas Tech calls a timeout, and there's a called timeout on the field with the score Texas A&M 31, Texas Tech 9. Here's Dave Smith.
When was your last oil change? If you can't remember.
He's the 45. Fourth down and 18. David Kirkendall back in deep punt formation, standing around his own 41-yard line. Waiting the snap from center. The last time he had a high snap and couldn't get it away and was down back in the 1-yard line. Big rush, but he gets it out of there. Sails it over the head of the safety man, goes into the end zone for the automatic touchback, and the Aggies will have the ball first and 10 at their own 20-yard line. A 45-yard kick by David Kirkendall. So the Texas Aggies will go to the offense, leading by a score of 31-9. And now, Dave, the clock shows 8 minutes and 52 seconds left to go in the ball game. And the Aggies with the football at their own 20, leading by a score of 31-9. Well, Texas A&M came into the ball game tonight, ranked number 6 in the nation, among the leaders in all defensive categories in the nation. They had trouble winning in Lubbock in recent years. Texas Tech has won the last 3 meetings in Lubbock, 5 of the last 6. The only Aggie win in Jones Stadium since 1961 came in 1967. Here's Skip Walker running with the ball wider on his left end of the 25, the 30, and running bounds on the far side of the field. He's up around the 33-yard line. Skip Walker running with the football, and that's his finest run of the evening. Mike Jay is in at quarterback. Jay pitched in the ball, and Skip Walker raced wide around his own left end, and he picked up 32 yards on, picked up 12 yards in the play out to the 32-yard line. First and 10 for Texas A&M at the 32. Harold Buell and Curtis Jordan doing the defensive work for the Red Raiders. So the Aggies with the ball at their own 32-yard line. Mike Jay at quarterback, replacing David Shipman. Shipman had been quarterbacking all the way for the Aggies. Now Jay is in, the senior from Torrington, Wyoming. Here is the handoff going to Walker again to the left side. Has a hold of the 35, gets to the 40, and crashes outside the 40-yard line to near the 43, and he may have another Aggie first down. It's going to be close. Gary McWright and Wesley Schmidt making the tackle for the Texas Tech Red Raiders, but not before Skip Walker picks up consecutive Texas Aggie first downs. He gets 10 on that play at around the 43-yard line. Hash mark on the far side of the field. 8 minutes left to go in the ball game. 31-9, Texas A&M leading. Mike Jay, Bubba Bean, Bucky Sams, and Skip Walker in the offensive backfield. Split end of the ball game is Carl Roaches wide to the right side. Mike Jay handing the ball off to the fullback. Bucky Sams to the right side of his own line. He crashes across the 45. Gets out near the 48-yard line. Harold Buell in to make the tackle. Bill Bothwell also gets in on the play. A junior from Las Vegas, New Mexico. High school All-Stater both offensively and defensively. The ball at the 48-yard line in Aggie territory. Gain on that play of about 6. It'll be second down and 4 now for Texas A&M. That Aggie defense has been doing yeoman service tonight. Credit Glenn Bushnock, Bruce Welch, Henry Tracy, Billy Lemons, Dennis Schmelzer, Frank Myers, Dennis Swilley. All have been playing. Here is Jay, back to pass. Goes long downfield, and it is complete inside the 20-yard line. Richard Osborne, the tight end, making the grab. Richard Osborne, one of the captains for the Texas Aggies in the ballgame tonight, got behind the Texas Tech secondary. Curtis Jordan and Eric Felton finally caught up with him, but Osborne made the grab at about the 20 and fell forward to the 16-yard line, a 35-yard pass and run play. So the Aggies moving with the pass on this drive. 7 minutes and 7 seconds left to go in the ball game. 31-9 the score. Texas A&M on top. The Aggies up to the line of scrimmage. The 16-yard line, Red Raider territory. Split end wide to the right side is Carl Roaches. Here is Jay keeping the ball. He spins to the 15, maybe the 14-yard line. Before he's dabbed by Gary McBride, playing in at linebacker spot, a sophomore from Midland Lee, 6'1", 210. Thomas Howard is out of the ball game, and McBride is coming to replace him. The ball inside the 15 at the 14. Couple of yards gain. It'll be 2nd down and 8 now for Texas A&M. The ball midway between the sideline stripes. Mike Floyd is in his split end. Carl Roaches goes to the sidelines. Mike J at quarterback. Bubba Bean, Bucky Sams, and Skip Walker in the offensive backfield. Wide to the left side goes Mike Floyd. Mike J bows under and barks the signals. Runs the option to his left. He pitches it back at the last moment to Skip Walker, running wide to the left, and he's run out of bounds on the far sideline outside the 10 at about the 11-yard line. Curtis Jordan doing the defensive work. All Southwest Conference safety man from Lubbock Monterey High School. One of the captains for the Red Raiders tonight. Ball carrier knocked out of bounds at the 12-yard line. It'll be 3rd down coming and 7 needed now for Texas A&M, operating in the Texas Tech 12. Ball at the hash mark on the far sideline. The clock running, 5 minutes and 47 seconds left to go. 31-9, Texas A&M on top, and the Red Raiders shoring up their defenses now as the Aggies come to the line of scrimmage. Split into the left side, the short side of the field for the Aggies. Here is Mike J coming out of there on the option. Oh, he's going to throw, and it's incomplete at the goal line. The flag flies at the goal line. Intended for Richard Osborne. Eric Felton was covering him closely, and the official thought he was covering him too closely, evidently, and pass interference is going to be called against the Texas Tech Red Raiders. And it's going to be 1st down and goal to go at the 1-yard line for Texas A&M. So the Texas Aggies have a golden opportunity to add to their score. Leading by a score of 31-9. 5.5 minutes left in the ball game. Gary Hack has come in at a tight end position along with Richard Osmond. 2 tight ends in the ball game as Mike J brings him to the line of scrimmage. Wishbone T in the backfield. Goal line defense for Texas Tech. Handoff goes to the fullback. Bucky Sams over the middle. A big pile up at the goal line. Let's see whether he made it. Evidently he's a little bit short. Going to be short of the goal line by inches. Harold Buell is in there along with Jim Kroll, Curtis Reed, Bill Bothwell. The entire center of that Texas Tech defense. The ball is inside the 1, short of the goal line by about a foot. Clock still running with 5 minutes left in the ball game. 31-9 the score. The Texas Aggies on top of the Texas Tech Red Raiders. Aggies came into the ball game with a 4-0 record, ranked number 6 in the nation. 2nd down and goal. Diving into the end zone is Bucky Sams, the fullback. Bucky Sams springboarding from the backfield into the end zone as he was tripped up in the air, did a flip and came down in the end zone for another Texas A&M touchdown. It's 37-9 with a point after try yet to come. We'll remind you that the Texas Aggie football team is due back in Aggie Land at Easterwood Airport at 12 midnight tonight. 37-9, and Tony Franklin will try the extra point. Ball is down, kick is up, flags fly, and the referee, McDuff Simpson, moves in to confer. It appeared that the kick was good by Tony Franklin. It went through the uprights. It appeared from this vantage point at least. But we'll see who the penalty's against. McDuff Simpson picks up the football, moves it in half the distance to the goal line, to the 1.5-yard line, and evidently that kick was not good, and the Aggies are going to try to have another chance. The kick evidently was not good, so the Aggies will have another chance. Tony Franklin will have another try. The ball is down. This time his kick is up in the air, and this time it is good. So the penalty called against the Red Raiders gave Tony Franklin another chance to make it 38 instead of 37, and he did just that. It's Texas A&M 38 and the Texas Tech Red Raiders 9 with 4 minutes and 52 seconds left to go here in Jones State.
52 left in the ball game.
Tony Franklin script kicks it downfield. He goes all the way down in the end zone, and it's fallen on there by Billy Taylor. The Red Raiders couldn't find the handle on that one as it skipped by a couple of 3. And Billy Taylor chased it down into the end zone and fell on it for the automatic touchback, and the Red Raiders will have the ball 1st and 10 at their own 20. 4 minutes and 52 seconds left to go in the 4th and final period. 38-9 the score. Texas A&M leading the Texas Tech Red Raiders. Red Raiders got 9 points in the first half, and the Aggie defense has shut them out here in the second half. Split end left, flanker to the right. Back to pass, Rodney Allison. Big chase. He's hit as he throws, and it goes fluttering to the AstroTurf, incomplete to the far sideline. Edgar Fields had the pressure on Rodney Allison that time, and Allison, just as he was throwing the ball, Edgar Fields came down on him hard, and the ball just fluttered away off to the far sideline, incomplete. So bring it back to the 20. All new faces in the ball game for Texas Tech. Howie Lewis is in his split end. Greg Atkins at one tackle. Wilbert Cunningham at another. Greg Wessels and Kenny Teal the guards. Terry Anderson at center. Sylvester Brown in at tight end. Flanker right, split end to the left side. Quarterback is Rodney Allison. He goes straight back to pass on 2nd and 10. Sets up and throws, and it is completed at the 40-yard line. A good grab out at the 40-yard line by Donald Roberts, the flanker back. The former quarterback for the Red Raiders. He quarterbacked most of the year last year after Tommy Donovan got hurt. He made that grab over the middle that time at the 40-yard line and went down in the arms of Pat Thomas. A 20-yard gain from the 20 to the 40. 1st and 10 for Texas Tech at the Red Raider 40-yard line. Pat Felix comes in at tight end, and Sylvester Brown goes to the sideline as Rodney Allison brings him to the line of scrimmage. 40-yard line, Red Raider territory. Allison draw play up the middle, and Jimmy Williams carries the ball out to about the 43-yard line. Robert Jackson is there to make the tackle on him, the middle linebacker for the Red Raiders, or for the Texas Aggies. 38-9 the score. Texas A&M on top. It's Arkansas 41, Baylor 3 with 6 minutes and 40 seconds left in their ball game in Waco. Our score is Texas A&M 38, Texas Tech 9. Red Raiders have the ball at the Texas Tech 43-yard line, 2nd down and about 7. Here's Rodney Allison, straight back to pass. Runs away from one defender, runs to his right. He may keep the ball. He's hit at the 40, gets away. He's to the 45, he's to the 50, gets to the 45, and then he's tripped up at about the 42-yard line. A fine run by Rodney Allison. He was caught back in his own backfield as he couldn't find a receiver open. Raced out of the back of the far sideline. He was hit and almost down back at the 40-yard line, but he got away, and then Jackie Williams caught up with him and brought him down into 42 in Aggie territory. A fine run by Rodney Allison, the sophomore from Odessa. Tony Blankenship in at left corner, replacing Pat Thomas now for the Texas Aggies. Robert Jackson in the middle linebacker. Reggie Williams in at left safety, replacing Lester Hayes. The ball's the 42 in Aggie territory. Texas Tech in possession. 3.5 minutes left to go in the ball game. Here's the handoff down the middle to Jimmy Williams, and he is hit hard as he gets to the line of scrimmage. That's all that's all he got as he hit through about the 42-yard line. Robert Jackson and Edgar Fields get up off the pile. Credit them with the defensive work for Texas A&M. And the ball is placed down the 42, the line of scrimmage. 2nd down and 10 for Texas Tech. Barry Isaac, Jimmy Williams, Rodney Allison, the offensive backfield. Howie Lewis goes out. Sammy Williams comes in at split end. Williams split wide to the right side. Flanker Donald Roberts wide to the left. Back to pass is Rodney Allison being chased. Tries to run out of the pocket. Now he's going to stop and throw way downfield, and it is complete out of bounds. Sammy Williams caught the ball, the split end, out of bounds, about 8 yards down this near sideline. He was down around the goal line, but he caught it out of bounds by about 8 yards. Here's a reminder that this broadcast is authorized under rights granted by the 8 schools of the Southwest Athletic Conference to Exxon Company USA, and it's intended for the private enjoyment of our audience. Any recording, recreating from, retransmission, or other use of the broadcast without express written consent of the Exxon Company USA is prohibited. 2:45 left to go in the ball game. The clock stopped in the incompletion. 38-9 the score. Texas A&M leading. The Red Raiders come to the line of scrimmage. They have both ends split. A flanker wide to the left side. Rodney Allison in the pocket. Back to pass. He's being chased. Runs. Retreats all the way back to his own 43-yard line. Running from the near sideline to the 50, the 45. Run out of bounds around the 41-yard line. Rodney Allison tackled on the near sideline about the 41. He got back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about all. Edgar Fields made the tackle on the near sideline. May have picked up about a yard on the play at about the 41-yard line. The crowd reaction from the Texas Tech partisans here at Jones Stadium is they thought that Edgar Fields might have hit Rodney Allison after he had crossed the sideline on the near sideline. In other words, hit him out of bounds. But the officials saw it otherwise. Gain him a yard on the play to the 41-yard line. It'll be 4th down, coming at 9 now for Texas Tech at the Aggie 41-yard line. The ball at the hash mark on the near side of the field. The Red Raiders come to the line of scrimmage, running formation. 2 minutes and 38 seconds left to go in the ball game. Flank it wide to the right side, split end to the left side. Rodney Allison, the quarterback. He goes straight back to pass. He's being red-dogged and knocked down back at the 48-yard line. It was Garth, the right side linebacker, who came blitzing through and caught Rodney Allison before he could get that pass away. Knocked him down back at the 48-yard line, but the forward progress is allowed where the hit was made up around the 50. So the Texas A&M defense is held again, and the Aggies will take over 1st and 10 to the midfield stripe. 2 minutes and 14 seconds left in the ball game. 38-9 to score. Texas A&M leading the ball game. So the Aggies come to the line of scrimmage. Mike J again at quarterback. Slot eye to the left side. He sprints out to his left. He may want to throw the ball. He's almost caught back in his own backfield. He gets away. Comes to the near sideline. He's to the 45. He's to the 40. Gets to the 35 and wrestled down inside the 35 at about the 33-yard line. Mike J on a fine run. He sprinted out to his left toward the far sideline as if he wanted to throw the ball. Then he ran into a lot of heavy traffic over there as a lot of red-shirted Red Raiders were after him. He reversed his field, came back to the near sideline, and picked up all the way down inside the 35 to the 34-yard line. About 16 yards gain on the play. Slot eye to the left side as Mike J hands the ball off. Eddie Harden at fullback now, running into the left side of his own line, gets to the 32-yard line. Ray Hennig made the tackle on him. The senior from Garland from his defensive tackle position for Texas Tech at the 32-yard line. Gain of 2 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 8 now for Texas A&M. Eddie Harden in at fullback, the freshman. He's from Houston, 6'4" and 235. Jim Hartman is the left halfback. The right halfback is Edgar Armstrong. Slot eye right side. Hand to the second man by. That's Armstrong to the left side of his own line. He gets to the 30-yard line before he's picked up and dropped down by Ray Hennig and Gary McWright. 30-yard line is the line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd down coming, and about 7 needed for Texas A&M. Less than a minute left to go in the ball game now. The Texas Aggies leading 38-9. The Aggies undefeated coming into the ball game with a 4-0 record. Ranked number 6 in the nation. Leading 38-9 with 42 seconds left to go in the ball game. Slot eye to the left, the short side of the field. Mike J carrying, runs left, on the keeper, 25, 20. Has the first down and knocked it out of bounds inside the 20 at about the 18-yard line on the far side of the field. Craig Harris jumped on his back and rode him out of bounds on the far sideline inside the 20 at the 18. So the Aggies continue to move. The out-of-bounds play stops the clock with 33 seconds left to go in the ball game. 38-9 the score. Texas A&M leading. Texas Tech next week will go outside the conference. They'll be playing the University of Arizona in Tucson. Wide slot eye to the right side. Here's Mike J running the option. He may want to keep it. He does. Inside the 20, goes down to the 16-yard line. Mike J, the senior from Torrington, Wyoming, carrying the football. The clock continues to run. 20 seconds left in the ball game. Richard Arnage in to make the stop along with Jim Scott. The Texas Aggies will be in action next week at TCU Stadium in Fort Worth as they take on the TCU Horned Frogs. In their 2nd Southwest Conference game of the season, the Texas Aggies have called a timeout to stop the clock with 9 seconds left to go. The ball at the 17-yard line, hash mark on the near side of the field as we get set to go back to play in a moment. But right now it's time for a station break. Your hosts this evening are Exxon Company USA and your neighborhood Exxon retailer. We pause briefly for station identification. Over 52,000 football fans. Split end right. Jay bows under. Fakes to the fullback. Keeps it. Pitches it to Hartman. Hartman is hit at the 20 for a loss on the play. The clock runs. 2 seconds. 1 second. And that is the end of the ball game. The final score, Texas A&M 38, Texas Tech 9. 38-9, Texas A&M downing Texas Tech here at Jones Stadium tonight. And Dave Smith, we saw the power and the versatility of truly the number 6 team in the nation tonight, the Texas Aggies.
And they look like the number 6 team in the nation tonight indeed, Jack, as they win 38-9 over the Texas Tech Red Raiders. It's the 5th straight win of the season for Texas A&M. And next week, we get down to some serious action in the conference play, with some earnestness between Arkansas and Texas at Fayetteville, Rice and SMU at Houston, and the Aggies and TCU at Fort Worth. Texas Tech will wind up its intersectional schedule against Arizona at Tucson next week, and member-elect Houston challenges Miami on Friday afternoon to get it all started. Baylor will be resting before beginning 6 straight weeks of conference play.